trees to blaze their trails so they could find their way back to their car. As another evening began to settle in, a search and rescue team was able to locate mother and son. Rescuers had been notified, by the way, that Laird and her son were way overdue from arriving at camp. That'll do it for this hour. For Nicole Murray and Mike Gavin, I'm Gordon Deal. Thanks for listening to This Morning, America's First News.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20-plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
President's name tied to Epstein files.
Trump was told by his Justice Department in May.
Columbia University settlement.
The deal has the school paying $221 million to the federal government.
Emotion and anger in court.
You're evil. You are going to suffer, man.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, reports indicate President Trump's name is mentioned in the Epstein files, and he was told about it by his attorney general in May, before the Justice Department said the files would remain confidential. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
Last week, President Trump was asked if he'd been told by Attorney General Pam Bondi that his name appears in documents related to the case.
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing.
But as first reported by the Wall Street Journal, Bondi told the president in May his name appears multiple times in the documents, which doesn't suggest he did anything wrong, and given their past friendship, isn't surprising. The White House dismissed the reports, calling them fake news. But the revelation came on the same day the Republican-led House Oversight Committee subpoenaed Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell to testify from prison, where she's serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. And a House panel voted to subpoena the Justice Department for all Epstein records.
A Florida judge has rejected an administration request to unseal transcripts from grand jury investigations of Epstein years ago in the state. A similar request for the work of a different grand jury is still pending in New York. Columbia University has agreed to pay a $200 million settlement with the Trump administration over 3 years in connection with campus protests. Here's CBS's Nikki Batiste.
The settlement comes as the university had been negotiating with the administration to restore its access to $400 million in federal funding. Columbia says it's agreed to pay the $200 million settlement in addition to $21 million to settle investigations brought by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The university has also agreed to a series of changes, including an independent monitor who will assess compliance with the agreement and federal laws.
A federal appeals court in San Francisco says President Trump's order to end birthright citizenship is unconstitutional, blocking its enforcement nationwide. It's the second time a federal court has taken that action. Now to a courtroom in Idaho. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti has details of the gripping testimony from friends and family of 4 murder victims as they confronted Brian Kohberger at his sentencing.
From biting words,
"I will call you what you are, psychopath, murderer,"
to tears.
That was the worst day of my life, and I know it always will be.
It was an emotional and somber day for the family and friends of the Forest Lane University of Idaho students as they confronted their loved one's killer, Brian Kohberger.
What he did shattered me in places I didn't know could break.
For the first time, we heard from one of the 2 surviving roommates.
They don't see the panic attacks, the way I scan every room I enter, the way I flinch at sudden sounds.
Kaylee Gonsalvez's father turned his podium toward the man who killed his daughter.
Your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you.
Kaylee's sister, Olivia.
You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. You're pathetic.
An emotional Judge Hippler said this before sentencing him to 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.
No parent should ever have to bury their child.
The heat dome expands. 130 million people are now under heat alerts this morning from the Midwest to the South. CBS's Lana Zach.
More than 100 million people are trapped under an intense heat dome.
Ice cold lemonade!
With temperatures skyrocketing. Tens of thousands of cyclists pedaled hundreds of miles from one end of Iowa to the other for RAGBRAI, the world's longest recreational bike ride.
No one's racing. And what's the hurry? Get back in your hot tent?
You literally just feel a wall when you walk out the door.
Farmers like Will Cannon have no choice but to be outdoors.
You're sweating and the sweat won't even evaporate because there's so much humidity in the air.
4 minutes after the hour.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Search crews in Russia's Far East have found the burning wreckage of a plane that crashed with 49 people on board, including 5 children, and they say there were no survivors. The cause of the crash isn't known. There was bad weather in the area. Here at home, court action in California for a man at the center of the case that was launched after the death of actor Matthew Perry. CBS's Matt Piper.
Dr. Salvador Plasencia has pleaded guilty in federal court to 4 counts of distributing ketamine. He supplied Matthew Perry with unprescribed amounts of ketamine in the month leading up to his accidental overdose. The plea carries a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison, and as part of it, 3 additional counts of distribution of ketamine and 2 counts of falsifying records will be dropped.
Judges have issued rulings on the Trump administration's case against Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man who was deported to El Salvador and now faces charges in the U.S.
A judge in Nashville first ordered Abrego Garcia's release, saying prosecutors failed to show he was dangerous or likely to flee. Shortly after that, Judge Paul Azzini's in Maryland immediately barred ICE from detaining or deporting him and ordered him restored to federal supervision in Baltimore. And finally, Judge Barbara Holmes in Tennessee issued a 30-day pause on Abrego Garcia's release, a compromise both sides agreed to, giving the courts time to sort out next steps in this politically charged case. Tariq King for CBS News, Washington.
Well, CBS's Jan Crawford has details of a Supreme Court decision backing a move by the Trump administration to oust 3 Democrats on a federal agency.
The Supreme Court has cleared the way for President Trump to remove members of the Consumer Product Safety Commission while their lawsuit challenging the firings plays out. In a different case just 2 months ago, the justices made their views pretty clear on the president's removal powers, although apparently not clear enough for some of the lower court judges who have continued to block the removals at other independent agencies.
A federal appeals court has ruled that MyPillow founder Mike Lindell does not have to pay a $5 million award to a software engineer. The man disputed data Lindell claimed proved China interfered in the 2020 election in a contest Lindell organized. The court said arbitrators went too far in interpreting the rules of the contest. The Wall Street Journal reports Joe Biden has struck a deal for his memoir, getting a $10 million advance. At a public event this month, the former president said he was working on a book. Time on the roundup, 8 past the hour.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The American passport may not be the ticket to travel it once was.
The U.S. has fallen to number 10 this year, according to the Henley Passport Index, which bases its rankings on how many destinations a passport's holder can enter without a visa. The U.S. is actually in a tie with Iceland and Lithuania and has fallen each year since 2014 when it held the top spot. The U.S. has visa-free access to 182 destinations, whereas a passport from Singapore, which is now number 1, grants access to 193 destinations. Henley terms a passport as a reflection of a country's diplomatic influence. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
For the first time, an active military base will host a NASCAR race. It'll be next June at Naval Base Coronado in Southern California. A 3-mile street race course will be designed for the event. It all coincides with the Navy's 250th anniversary. That's the World News Roundup. I'm Steve Kathan, CBS News.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Happy Friday Eve. It's a Thursday morning. KIRO News Time 5:10. I'm Scott Carty. Very early this morning, a fire broke out in Seattle's Central District, causing several buildings to be evacuated. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is on the scene at 20th and East Marion.
Firefighters are still out here dealing with this, but this was a fire in a building under construction. Now, the reason this got escalated to several alarms is because that building that was on fire, the fire spread to 7 buildings around it, forced the fire department to evacuate all those buildings.
Seattle Fire says one of their firefighters is being treated for minor injuries. No residents were injured. Good thing they were on that one. That could have been a very, very tragic scene. The Everett Fire Department is now looking at new ways to secure its trucks when they're out on emergency calls. Someone stole one of its fire engines Friday night and crashed into 11 other vehicles. Fire Chief Dave DeMarco says it's not as simple as installing a keypad or a door lock.
Any effort to insert additional layers of protection in emergency vehicles adds to the risk of mechanical failure at a crucial moment. These are not utility trucks. They're not delivery vans. They cannot fail. And so we must be careful and deliberate about how we proceed.
The male suspect is still at large. 2 new fire engines, which had already been ordered years ago, arrived last week and should be in service next month. In breaking news early yesterday, we told you about a sinking houseboat near Gasworks Park. Seattle Fire responded to stabilize the floating home and place booms to prevent polluting Lake Union. No one was injured. KIRO 7 TV talked with a resident from a nearby marina. David Pleasant says he has safety top of mind.
When I am on my boat and I'm asleep, I sleep in the forward berth. There's a hatch I can climb out, and I always think, okay, do I at least have 2 exits to get out of here?
The Coast Guard Department and Department of Ecology are investigating the cause. In Bothell Wednesday, fire crews called in the Department of Natural Resources for aerial assistance. A tree fell, hitting a power line. And as KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin tells us,
that power line sparking a brush fire in the woods off 43rd Avenue Southeast. That's right behind North Creek High School. Those lines were de-energized, and DNR was called in to drop buckets of water on the flames.
All right, the Seafair Torchlight Parade is coming up Saturday night, and in a little over a week, the Navy's Blue Angels will be flying into town at a seafair tradition. But some local climate activists are putting their feet down. They say they want the jets to come down too because of noise pollution and PTSD. And one of the activists leading the charge is a former pilot himself, speaking with KIRO 7 TV.
I was an Air Force flight surgeon. I flew upside down in the F-16. It's a lot of fun.
That's not why the airplanes are built. They are built to drop bombs to kill people and to kill things. And when they fly over, it reminds people who are war refugees and veterans, that's how it was, and they don't like that memory.
The group expressing their view in more ways than just verbally. They put up an anti-Blue Angels billboard in the Rainier Valley neighborhood. For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, everything is moving along swimmingly. It's always nice to know, especially with all the traffic we've been having. Sully will keep you updated on the more developments with those I-5 closures as we get through the morning. Your KIRO News Radio forecast is another beauty, another good one. Sunny and 77 today after some morning clouds. 70, 72, 76 for the weekend, and 80 on Monday if you want to take a long break. It's 60 right now. Coming up, CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti looks at restoration efforts underway with the forests in Oregon after wildfires. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro.
Congratulations, Ichiro, from a grateful city and KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
10-time MLB All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove Award winner, MLB single-season hit leader, a one-of-a-kind player.
And there it is. He's a new all-time hit king in Major League history, number 258.
Head to T-Mobile Park in August as the Mariners celebrate Ichiro's induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. The festivities kick off with a 3-day Ichiro Hall of Fame Funko Pop giveaway, Tuesday, August 5th through Thursday, August 7th. On Friday, August 8th, arrive early to score a 2004 Ichiro jersey like the one he wore when he broke the MLB single-season hit record. Saturday, August 9th, will feature Ichiro's pregame number retirement ceremony, and the first 20,000 fans on Sunday the 10th will take home a replica of his Cooperstown plaque. It's going to be legendary.
On a tremendous throw by Ichiro. He threw something out of Star Wars.
Get your tickets at mariners.com/Ichiro. Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
In the heart of Oregon's Fremont-Wainema National Forest crews are going to new heights to harvest a precious commodity.
I've gone apple picking. I've never gone cone picking.
We're looking for the ripe cones at the top of the tree.
Using lift operators and climbers, Brian Kittler with nonprofit American Forests showed us how his team hunts for pine cones in a new battle against deforestation.
The more that we lose forests, we're losing our clean air, our clean water, our ability to remove carbon from the atmosphere and address climate change.
The threat, the West's unprecedented rate of megafires, which, fueled by climate change, have destroyed more than 33 million acres since 2020, around the size of the state of Arkansas. Matt Castellan fought fires until 2018 before scaling up trees to save them.
In your time fighting fires, did you see a change in fire behavior and just how extreme these fires had become?
Yeah, 100%. When I started in 2000, a large fire was 20,000 acres. And, at the end of my career, we burned that in a day.
If nothing is done to restore these forests after a fire, what happens to them?
So we're looking over here at the Berry Point fire, which was 2012. There's basically no live trees and there's no natural regeneration happening.
It's a vicious cycle. Fewer surviving trees means fewer pine cones for humans to pick and plant.
Once those pine cones are collected, they're brought to a network of nurseries like this. The seeds are extracted and then grown into these seedlings. There are about 1 million here,
which represents about 4,500 acres of new forest.
It's something that takes all lands and all hands to come together.
Gwen Meyer, American Forest Director in the Pacific Northwest, doesn't live far from the Medford, Oregon nursery growing these seedlings.
Is this enough to restore the landscape that has been lost because of these fires?
No. It's not even close. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but then there's going to continually be a need as these fires continue to burn.
The U.S. Forest Service says it's short about 200,000 acres, more than 40 times the number of seedlings at this nursery, and that's just in this part of Oregon. The warming environment also means fewer seedlings will likely grow to maturity, which takes about 20 years.
It's become much more arid, hotter and drier. One of the consequences of that, it can push trees towards the edge of what they can physiologically tolerate. These seedlings here...
Brian Riotini is a geneticist with the U.S. Forest Service. The changing climate poses a problem, but with it comes an opportunity.
We are sourcing more drought-tolerant populations of that species to be planted in these areas that are currently experiencing more drought-prone conditions.
The demand in stock now requires all hands on deck.
Unfortunately, we've had to get pretty good at reforestation.
Logging companies like Galen Smiths are helping the Forest Service source cones and clear scorched land for replanting.
Why is that so important to have that partnership and that relationship here?
Fire and ecology and insects and disease, it doesn't care about a property line. If we're able to replant our little block of land, but we're surrounded by untreated, burned forest land, eventually that's just going to become a brush field and it will burn again and it will threaten our land again.
Neighbors helping neighbors, in a program the Forest Service hopes to expand to other impacted states.
When you look at all of these seedlings, what do you see?
I see the forests that will be walked through by our children and our children's children. This is multiple generations worth of trees that will be out there in the forest.
A new generation of trees that will take root in the American West. Jonathan Vigliotti, Medford, Oregon.
KIRO News Time is 5:22. Good morning. I'm Scott Carty. Very early this morning, a fire broke out in Seattle's Central District, causing several buildings to be evacuated. KIRO TV's Ranji Sinha is on the scene at 20th and East Marion.
Firefighters are still out here dealing with this, but this was a fire in a building under construction. Now, the reason this got escalated to several alarms is because that building that was on fire, the fire spread to 7 buildings around it, forced the fire department to evacuate all those buildings.
Also, we are getting news of a shooting in Burien near 2nd Avenue Southwest and 509. We'll get you more details on that as we get through the morning, and just be aware for a traffic situation there. The Seattle Police Department reports another stabbing in Seattle late last night. A 43-year-old woman stabbed in the cheek at a Northgate bus stop. That's an area known for crime, 105th and Aurora. Reports are the woman got into an argument with a 34-year-old man when she got off the bus. That led to him stabbing her. That suspect ran down an alley but was caught near 103rd and Interlake. He was arrested, booked into King County Jail, and the victim is in stable condition. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey will have much more throughout the morning. The Everett Fire Department is looking for new ways to secure its trucks when they're out on emergency calls. A male suspect is still at large after stealing one of Everett's engines and crashing into 11 other vehicles. Fire Chief Dave DeMarco discussed with the Everett City Council yesterday about ways to prevent such a thing from happening ever again.
Any effort to insert additional layers of protection in emergency vehicles adds to the risk of mechanical failure at a crucial moment. These are not utility trucks. They're not delivery vans. They cannot fail. And so we must be careful and deliberate about how we proceed.
The department has 2 new fire engines going into service next month. They had already ordered them years ago, and they arrived last week. In Bothell Wednesday, crews needed help from above in a Wednesday brush fire, so they called in the Department of Natural Resources. A tree fell, hit a power line, and KIRO TV's Monique Minglavin tells us.
That power line sparking a brush fire in the woods off 43rd Avenue Southeast. That's right behind North Creek High School. Those lines were de-energized and DNR was called in to drop buckets of water on the flames.
Good thing they had that assistance. For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, we're not seeing anything real alarming out there for you. We will continue to keep you updated as we get through the morning. Just usual drive times right now. And your KIRO News Radio forecast, sunny and 77 today after morning clouds. 70, 72, and 76 for the weekend. 60 right now. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
America's favorite car show is back. It's the Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals presented by Wicked Fabrication. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 of the Northwest's finest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Shop the Fender Big Way. A free family fun zone, great live music, Saturday night twilight cruising, and so much more. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
Hey, Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp, owner of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Dr. Sharp, I keep getting questions from our listeners. When's the right time to have this procedure? My eyes are changing. Should I wait until they're done changing?
Well, I always tell patients, do it now. Don't wait. Whatever age you are, and that's part of the mission of Sharp Vision, is that whatever age you are, whatever prescription you have, we try to find a procedure that works for you. When you're young, LASIK and PRK are great procedures. As we get older, the refractive lens exchange becomes more appealing because that can fix whatever glasses prescription, whether you're farsighted, nearsighted, or have astigmatism, and it fixes it permanently so you don't develop cataracts, and it allows you to see near without glasses.
Do what I did. Schedule a consultation to learn everything you need to know from the best Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an E-vision.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through July 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event extended to July 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Hartley Wilcox here from Wilcox Family Farms. I've really enjoyed meeting so many of you at our recent egg demo events. I'm often asked, are omega-3 eggs really better for you? They sure are. Omega-3 eggs are an incredible source of natural omega-3s, providing on average 3 times that of other eggs. Eating omega-3 eggs promotes strong bones and joints and is proven to reduce cholesterol and blood pressure. Choose Wilcox Family Farms eggs today. Locally fresh since 1909.
Hey, I want to tell you a sellwithwes.com success story. Wes Jones knows how important your home sale can be for your future plans. So when he got a call from Susan in Federal Way, he was eager to step up and help her sell her home of 25 years.
Her house was her biggest asset, and this home sale was super meaningful for her. So she's like, I know that I'm leaving money on the table in the condition that it's in. Like, what can we do?
I told him up front that I did not have the time or finances to do what needed to be done. And he immediately jumped in with, well, I do.
He told her about their Listing Boost concierge service.
We identified probably 4 or 5 major things.
It just was all so fast. They did everything.
I'm a son of a builder, and I've done a lot of flips over the years. So this is work that we actually like to do. We are seeking this out.
And I would just tell anybody, here's his phone number, give him a call. He'll take care of it.
So if you're in the market to sell your home, do what Susan did. Check out Wes Jones and his team at sellwithwes.com. Sell with Wes, a better way to sell your home.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Every family has a story to tell. At Dunn Lumber, ours is about trust. During the Great Depression, trust was hard to come by. People were so skeptical of banks. Customers would stop by the lumberyard, put their money in an envelope, and leave it in this safe. The safe still stands today as a symbol of our most valuable asset, your trust. If there's ever anything we can do to better earn your trust, email me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building trust since 1907.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Well, good morning at 5:31. I'm Scott Carty on KIRO News Radio. We're getting reports of an early morning shooting in Burien on 2nd Avenue Southwest by SR 509, according to Como News. We're working on finding out more details, including the condition of the victim. Stay tuned for the latest from the King County Sheriff's Office and SeaTac Police right here on KIRO. Very early this morning, a fire broke out in Seattle's Central District, causing several buildings to be evacuated. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is on the scene at 20th and East Marion.
Firefighters are still out here dealing with this, but this was a fire in a building under construction. Now, the reason this got escalated to several alarms is because that building that was on fire, the fire spread to 7 buildings around it, forced the fire department to evacuate all those buildings.
In breaking news early yesterday, we told you about a sinking houseboat near Gasworks Park. Seattle Fire responded to stabilize that floating home and place booms to prevent pollution. No one was injured. KIRO 7 TV talked with a resident from a nearby marina, David Pleasance. He says he's always got safety top of mind.
When I am on my boat and I'm asleep, I sleep in the forward berth. There's a hatch I can climb out, and I always think, okay, do I at least have 2 exits to get out of here?
We're awaiting news from the Coast Guard and Department of Ecology for the cause of the situation. Well, we're just a little over a week. The Navy Blue Angels will be flying into town. It's a big seafair tradition, but some activists are putting their feet down, and they want the jets to come out of the sky, citing pollution and PTSD. One activist leading the charge is a former pilot himself, and he spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
As an Air Force flight surgeon, I flew upside down in the F-16. It's a lot of fun. That's not why the airplanes are built. They are built to drop bombs to kill people and to kill things. And when they fly over, it reminds people who are war refugees and veterans, that's how it was, and they don't like that memory.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, we're seeing lots of green out there and standard drive times. Of course, Sully will keep you updated throughout the morning on traffic from hell because of those northbound shutdowns on I-5. Your KIRO News Radio forecast, another beauty. We've got some morning clouds, and those will burn away. Rest assured, back to sunshine and 77 today. And a great weekend. 70 Friday, 72 Saturday, 76 Sunday. And we keep that tradition going. Monday will be 80. It's 60 right now. Coming up on KIRO News Radio. Much more with Seattle's Morning News. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Questions surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein files continue to sow dissent amidst the Republican Party. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced this week Congress will close up shop until September to avoid having to address calls for the release of the accused sex traffickers' personal files. As for President Trump's response, so we rely on CBS White House correspondent Aaron Navarro. Good morning, Aaron. What's the latest the president is saying about this whole thing?
Yeah, so the president was asked yesterday in the Oval Office about some recent news of his number two at the Department of Justice, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, meeting with longtime Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell. The president seemed to play a little bit coy, saying he hadn't heard of it, but said it was an appropriate thing to do. He then pivoted to claims that former President Obama led a coup against his 2016 campaign, again, kind of looking to distract from this news on Jeffrey Epstein that has really roiled his base, roiled a couple House Republicans as well, that he is obviously looking to get past. The president also said two House Republicans, Senate Republicans that attended this event at the White House last night, that should they be asked about Epstein during their long August recess, as you mentioned, to instead pivot and talk about what he claims is alleged corruption from former President Obama in that 2016 election.
Is there any evidence of that?
What has really kickstarted this is his director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, declassifying 100 pages of intelligence on potential Russian interference, switching votes in 2016. And what those documents showed was that Russia was not able to, physically switch any votes in 2016, but there was still a concerted effort from Russian actors to sow disinformation on social media to influence the election in that way. But Tulsi Gabbard and the administration and Republicans have really kind of conflated the two and focused on the bit that Russia was not able to actually change any votes, and thus the Obama administration kind of manufactured this narrative against President Trump in 2016. We got a response from an Obama spokesperson yesterday, kind of a rare time where they respond to President Trump, where they called the claims from the president, quote, outrageous, said they were bizarre allegations, and they pointed to a bipartisan Senate report that concluded Russia did work to influence the 2016 election, but again, was not successful in manipulating votes.
Before we let you go, we learned yesterday that Ghislaine Maxwell is being called to a meeting with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. What do we know about that?
Yeah, what we know so far is actually very little. We know that both sides confirmed that they want to meet, said it would happen in the coming days, but no date has been set. Remains to be seen whether that's something they preview publicly. We also heard that Blanche said that he was directed by Attorney General Pam Bondi to set up this meeting. Bondi has kind of gotten the brunt of the criticism from Trump's, quote unquote, MAGA portion of his base over not releasing more documents relating to Jeffrey Epstein.
Aaron, we appreciate the update this morning. CBS White House correspondent Aaron Navarro.
KIRO News Time is 5:37. I'm Scott Carty. We are continuing to follow news out of Burien of a shooting on 2nd Avenue Southwest by SR 509, according to Como News. And we'll get you updates from the King County Sheriff's Office and SeaTac Police throughout the morning. Your weather is looking really, really good today. We're going to see sunshine and 77 degrees. We'll see 70 on Friday, 72 on Saturday, and 76 on Sunday. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Manda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Manda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News, weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app. Want to see the Seahawks take on the Raiders at the preseason home opener August 7th? KIRO News Radio is giving away 4 tickets. Just listen to Seattle's Morning News all week from 6 to 9 for the daily code word. Then open the KIRO Radio News app, tap the Win tab, and enter. You can enter once a day from July 23rd through 28th to boost your chances. Full details at mynorthwest.com/win. We'll see you at the game.
It's summer, and there's no better time to protect your home with the help of the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team delivers exceptional craftsmanship, whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Call 206-202-ROOF or visit integrityrc.com. That's 206-202-ROOF or integrityrc.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value, and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today, and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour, and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at storycorpsconnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Brandy Cruz. Hey, Brandy, why? Why First Mark Insurance?
Service. I wondered for a second whether I was getting the VIP treatment, and I kind of asked, hey, is this what you do for everyone? And they're like, of course. The whole First Mark Challenge is meant to be personal, right? So it really is tailored and meant to be a personal experience for every single person. I will say I've just done whatever is the quickest and cheapest type of insurance, and I realized while I was doing it, wow, this is what it feels like to get insurance as a real adult. We had a million questions, and they walked us through every step of the process, and then they're working for you. So they're not working for insurance companies, they're working for you. To experience that level of service really shows you what the difference is with First Mark.
Brandy did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through July 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event extended to July 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
CBS News Brief. Columbia University will pay over $200 million to the Trump administration to restore federal funding. CBS News legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum.
This settlement with Columbia may serve as a template for Harvard and other universities who are in hot water on civil rights violations and DEI decision-making.
The full House may not vote for now on requesting release of the Jeffrey Epstein files, but CBS's Erica Brown reports a committee has taken action.
The House Oversight Committee passed a motion to subpoena Epstein's co-conspirator and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell to appear for a deposition.
Texas lawmakers are looking into the deadly flooding there, as correspondent Jason Allen reports from Austin.
A lot of the focus today really was on what emergency managers did or didn't know, right? They didn't know. They said that the rain was going to fall as hard as it did and where it did.
CBS News Brief. I'm Michael Toscano.
And I'm Scott Carty at KIRO News Radio. Your KIRO News Radio forecast, 77 and sunny today after some morning clouds burn off. I don't know if you got a chance to see last night's sunset. I somehow managed to stay awake that long. It was incredible. Clouds, then sun breaking through for the next few days. 70 tomorrow, 72 and 76 for the weekend. It's 60 right now in downtown Seattle. And coming up, we're going to check in with former State Attorney General Rob McKenna, and break down a Supreme Court case that could have big impact on the Voting Rights Act. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Yikey wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO News Radio.
Well, thanks for making us part of your Wednesday. Charlie is off. I'm Manda Factor. A new case being heard by the U.S. Supreme Court has the potential to bring down the Voting Rights Act of 1965, a landmark law that's been coined as the most successful civil rights statute in history of the U.S. This case centers around a dispute titled Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians versus Howe. And joining us now to break down the potentially massive implications of this case, former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning.
Can you start by reminding us some of the context of the Voting Rights Act?
Absolutely. So the Voting Rights Act was enacted in the 1960s by Congress to protect everyone's voting rights, in particular people of color, to keep them from being, for example, gerrymandered out of their districts so that they don't have a chance to elect someone who is, of their community. And, this has been an important cornerstone of protecting people's rights to vote and protecting people's rights to elect, folks from their own community for many, many years. And one of the ways that this law has worked is that individual plaintiffs have been able to challenge redistricting and new legislative maps by bringing claims of discrimination under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which prohibits racial discrimination in voting. So that takes us to the state of North Dakota, which in 2021 issued a new map based on the 2020 census that diluted the voting power of Native Americans in North Dakota, up in the northeast corner of the state, by eliminating 2 of the 3 legislative districts in that part of the state in which Native Americans had, previously possessed the ability to elect their own candidates. So, you can manipulate lines in order to manipulate outcomes of elections, and if you dilute voters by spreading them out among more legislative districts, then they can lose their ability to put someone in place who's from their community. And that's what was challenged by the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians and 2 other tribes, and led us to where we are today at the Supreme Court.
So Justice Neil Gorsuch is important in this particular case. Can you explain why?
Well, he's very conservative, and he has been he's a textualist, which means he doesn't believe you should expand the law beyond what it actually says in the plain text. You don't interpret it as much as you just apply the plain meaning of the law, which shouldn't be controversial. But when laws are a little bit ambiguous, then that can lead to results like the one that the Eighth Circuit issued when they ruled that private plaintiffs are not allowed under Section 2 to enforce the law against racial discrimination in voting. In this case, to challenge a legislative map. So as a textualist, he might be inclined to say, nope, these tribes can't bring this case because Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act doesn't expressly state that private plaintiffs can bring these claims, even though it's been a practice for a long time to allow plaintiffs to go to court like these tribes.
We're speaking with former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. This particular case, Turtle Mountain, is on what's called the shadow docket. Can you explain what that is and why this case is on it?
Right. So the shadow docket is a docket of cases at the Supreme Court that result from emergency appeals from lower court rulings. So here, the Eighth Circuit, by a vote of 2-1, threw out the district court judge's decision, which had ordered North Dakota to draw a new map because Native Americans had lost their power to elect legislators. In fact, when a new map was put in place, 3 new legislators were elected who are Native American in North Dakota, and the Eighth Circuit's effect would be to basically cost them their election. They would no longer be in the legislature. And because one of them was just recently elected, the plaintiffs went to the Supreme Court and said, please stay the Eighth Circuit's decision. So the shadow docket is when you're looking for a temporary block of a lower court's decision. We want to stay the effect of that decision, in this case, the decision to allow the old map to go into a place instead of the new map that allowed these Native Americans to be elected. And it's all done on the briefing. We're all used to seeing Supreme Court cases where, like I've done, you stand up in front of the court after months of briefing and you make your oral arguments, and then you wait a few months, you get your decision. Here, the court is issuing rulings, as Brett Kavanaugh did on July 16th here, issuing or temporarily blocking implementation of the Eighth Circuit's decision to give justices time to consider the plaintiff's request. So now the state of North Dakota is back again just on the briefs and is arguing that the whole court should look at this and should let the Eighth Circuit's ruling go into effect unless and until the court decides to grant a regular review. In other words, the case comes back to them and it's argued in front of them and so forth. So shadow docket's taking up more and more of the Supreme Court's time. That's the key thing to understand here, which is why there are only around 50 to 55 cases heard by the court instead of over 100 cases a year in the normal course.
How do you see this case playing out, Rob?
I have a hard time predicting this one. Gorsuch and Kavanaugh are opposed to each other, which may be the case. This could be another one of these 5-4 decisions with the liberals and one or two conservatives coming together. In this case, two conservatives coming together to say, yeah, private plaintiffs can challenge legislative maps. You don't have to wait for the government to come in and challenge them. And I wouldn't be shocked to see them overturn the Eighth Circuit in this particular case.
KIRO News Radio, it's 5:53. I'm Scott Carty. We're looking at headlines right now. There will be a meeting with Jeffrey Epstein's former associate today. CNN reporting that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche will meet with Ghislaine Maxwell. President Trump is going to visit the Federal Reserve today, escalating his pressure on Jerome Powell to cut interest rates. Tesla's profit plunged again in their latest earnings report, and U.S. applications for jobless benefits fall for the sixth straight week, remaining at historically low levels. Coming up on KIRO News Radio, we're going to have Seattle's Morning News. I'll give you a little tidbit on that in a second. Your KIRO News Radio forecast right now, 77 and sunny. We've got some morning clouds to get out of here and burn off, and we'll just keep doing that. Rinse and repeat. Clouds, then sun breaking through for the next few days. Tomorrow, 70 degrees, 72 and 76 for the weekend, and looking at 80 as we get next week started on Monday. But let's not rush it. It's 60 right now in downtown Seattle. Manda Factor is in for Seattle's Morning News. Charlie is in Cooperstown. Luke Ducey will have the latest on what we're finding in new documents being released from the Coburg case. And we'll have that traffic update, that ever-important traffic update, every 10 minutes on the threes with Sully. Seattle's Morning News is next. I'm Scott Carty. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
A big story developing this morning.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
Get the latest live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Huge impacts for Boeing and Boeing workers.
The office, the gym, anywhere.
Water, like taxes, goes all the way down to the bottom, so it'll either come out of the employee's paycheck or the lack of raise.
KIRO News Radio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men, too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hargeris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics.
As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. Northwest News.
Cool cars. Cool people. Good times. The Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals presented by Wicked Fabrications. July 25th through the 27th at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 classics. An earth-shaking Nitro Thunderfest. Tire smoke and burnout competition. And don't miss Good Guys Friday night vintage drags at Pacific Raceways in Kent. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A new report says Ghislaine Maxwell is putting together new evidence to present to Justice Department officials when she meets with them at her jail in Tallahassee this week. Her brother Ian tells the New York Post it could have a significant impact on her bid to overturn the guilty verdict that sent her away for 20 years. Meantime, House Speaker Mike Johnson tells CBS's Major Garrett he's still in favor of releasing the Epstein files.
We want full transparency. We want everybody who was involved in any way with the Epstein evils, let's call it what it was, to be brought to justice as quickly as possible. We want the full weight of the law on their head.
According to a Wall Street Journal report, the Attorney General told President Trump in May that his name appears multiple times in the Epstein documents. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
The White House tried again to redirect focus onto a different subject, in this case, how the Obama administration investigated potential Russian interference in the 2016 elections. National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard walked reporters through her review of the matter and accused the former president of leading a coup against Trump. President Obama's office calls the accusations ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction.
Immigration officials are shackling more immigrants.
In a recent memo obtained by the Washington Post, ICE ordered staff to place ankle monitors on all 183,000 people enrolled in the agency's Alternatives to Detention program. All those people had agreed to some form of tracking or mandatory check-ins, but only 24,000 of them are currently wearing ankle monitors. Many of them have no criminal record and have not missed any court appointments. Immigration advocates say while the monitors are more humane than detention, they impose a social stigma and invade immigrants' privacy. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
News.
The president checks out the Fed in person today.
President Trump will join a group from his administration for what was a previously scheduled tour of the $2.5 billion renovation of the Fed's D.C. headquarters. White House officials have criticized the project for going well over budget and say it may have violated planning requirements. The trip comes as Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is under increased scrutiny by the president for refusing to cut interest rates.
CBS's Stacey Lynn. 4 leading news organizations claim their reporters in Gaza are facing the threat of starvation. Reporter Linda Gradstein from Jerusalem.
The Associated Press, AFP, BBC News, and Reuters said their journalists in Gaza are increasingly unable to feed themselves and their families. They urged Israel to allow journalists in and out of Gaza. Israel did not respond directly to the statement, but in the past has accused some journalists in Gaza of having ties to Hamas.
Dow futures are down 323. NAS futures up 28. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
It's 6:03. Let's get you rolling on this Thursday morning. We head for the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. Good morning, Chris Sullivan.
Good morning, Manda Factor. We are looking at braking already. On southbound I-5. Yeah, day 4 of the month of hell in terms of commuting. I know we started on Friday night, but here we are again. It's already backing up through Northgate, and we're already over 40 minutes from Everett into Seattle. 35 from Everett to Bellevue, so not too bad out of Snohomish County yet, but it is shaping up to be deja vu. I've lost count. The other spot that we're dealing with right now, I want to thank Adam. Our Staples driver is already out early this morning. We've got a crash down the hill, down South Hill. Left lane is blocked. This involves a semi, and we're backing up really significantly there. Once you get through that, the Valley Freeway is heavy in Auburn already, so we're almost 45 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is under 20, but not by much. Federal Way to Seattle sees the brake lights through the Kent Des Moines Road. Under 40, though, to run the entire length. Olympia to Tacoma is not bad. The lake bridges are quiet. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning. It is 6:04. Just one day after we told you about an increase in knife-related assaults in Seattle, there's been another stabbing. This time, a woman at a bus stop was stabbed in her cheek. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live with what we know.
Amanda, police say that 43-year-old woman had just stepped off a bus late last night, got into some sort of argument with the suspect, and he stabbed her in her face. Yesterday, SPD Detective Brian Pritchard told our James Lynch, yes, there have been more and more stabbings in the city.
We don't have any indication that it's people that are unhoused or anything like that. Like I said, usually during the summer months, assaults do go up, and right now there's tend to be more stabbings.
So this latest attack happened on North 105th Street and Aurora Avenue. Police say the 34-year-old suspect took off down an alley, and they arrested him a couple blocks away. The victim was taken to Harborview Medical Center. Well, since April, police say there have been 20 knife-related assaults on Seattle streets, some of them fatal. SPD says it's the summer months. That's when violent crime tends to increase. Amanda, they've also been aggressively trying to get illegal guns off the street. So they say the bad guys seem to be grabbing knives now instead.
All right. Thank you, Luke. Early this morning, a fire broke out in Seattle's Central District, causing several buildings to be evacuated. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is on the scene. It's at 20th and East Marion.
Firefighters are still out here dealing with this, but this was a fire in a building under construction. Now, the reason this got escalated to several alarms is because that building that was on fire, the fire spread to 7 buildings around it, forced the fire department to evacuate all those buildings.
Seattle Fire says one of their firefighters is being treated for minor injuries, but no other injuries reported. In Bothell yesterday, fire crews called in the Department of Natural Resources for aerial help. A tree fell, hit a power line, and as KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin tells us,
that power line sparking a brush fire in the woods off 43rd Avenue Southeast. That's right behind North Creek High School. Those lines were de-energized, and DNR was called in to drop buckets of water on the flames.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. It is 6:06. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday morning. It's July 24th. Charlie Harger is out for the rest of the week. I'm Manda Factor. Sully's here checking the roads. We're going to need his help as this construction project continues.
Yeah, it's going to be a good day. I hope it's going to be a good day.
Remember we were scolded on Monday or whatever it was by Charlie for saying, fun.
Yeah, well,
it hasn't been fun.
No, it hasn't. It's been really, really rough for a lot of different people, and it's shaping up to be another rough morning.
We'll get through it together. Producer David Burbank is here. We're not going to talk about the Mariners. Nope. Scott Carney filling in for Katrina Gishard at the news desk. Nick Krasha's at the control room running the board today. Coming up this hour of the show, Sully, you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, I do. We're taking a look at the massive changes that are coming up on 167. All you cheaters better be ready because you're going to have to pay soon.
Stay with us for more. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control. And also coming up in Tech Talk, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey looks into the recent cyber attack involving Microsoft SharePoint. It's now 6:08. A search on the Duwamish River came up empty last night. Someone called 911 after seeing a person struggling in the water near East Marginal Way in Tukwila. Puget Sound Fire says crews rushed in with inflatable kayaks. KIRO 7 TV reports the King County Sheriff's Office also sent a helicopter to help from above. They searched for about 90 minutes, didn't find anyone. No word yet on who the person was or if they made it out. Well, it was breaking news early yesterday. We told you about a sinking houseboat near Gasworks Park. Seattle Fire responded to stabilize the floating home and place booms to prevent polluting Lake Union. No one was hurt. KIRO 7 talked with a resident from a nearby marina. David Pleasant says he has safety top of mind.
When I am on my boat and I'm asleep, I sleep in the forward berth. There's a hatch I can climb out, and I always think, okay, do I at least have 2 exits to get out of here?
The Coast Guard and Department of Ecology are investigating the cause of that situation there. There was a shooting in Burien this morning that happened near 2nd Avenue Southwest, close to Highway 509. The King County Sheriff's Office says a man called 911 and said he shot someone on his property. Como TV reports one suspect is in custody. Deputies and officers from SeaTac Police were seen moving through the area. The Major Crimes Unit is leading the investigation. No word yet what led to that shooting. We are now hearing from the family of 52-year-old James Sears. He was shot and killed over the weekend in White Center. His son, Jay Mott, was wounded.
He was a friend. He was a father. He was an uncle. He was a grandfather. Most of all, he was the love of my life.
That's Jay Mott's mother, Tasha, speaking exclusively with KIRO 7. The King County Sheriff's Office says the gunfire erupted after a car crash. The suspected shooter has been arrested. The family says Jay Mott has undergone surgery and has a long road to recovery. A Redmond man is headed to prison for a long time. Andrew Stanishi has been convicted in the death and abuse of a 68-year-old man, as well as stuffing his remains in a suitcase. Investigators say he abused, drugged, and financially exploited the victim before his death in 2023. He allegedly tried to cover up the death by hiding the body for 2 months while continuing to access the victim's bank account. Stanishi will be sentenced in the coming weeks. In a little more than a week, the Navy's Blue Angels will fly into town, a Seattle Seafair tradition, of course, but some local climate activists are putting their feet down, wanting the jets to come down too, citing noise pollution and PTSD. One of the activists leading the charge, a former pilot himself, spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
As an Air Force flight surgeon, I flew upside down in the F-16. It's a lot of fun. That's not why the airplanes are built. They are built to drop bombs to kill people and to kill things. And when they fly over, it reminds people who are war refugees and veterans, that's how it was, and they don't like that memory.
The group expressing their view in more ways than one, even putting up an anti-Blue Angels show billboard in the Rainier Valley neighborhood. Birthright citizenship remains in effect. Yesterday, a U.S. appeals court ruled President Trump's order to end birthright citizenship is unconstitutional and cannot move forward. The 2-1 ruling echoes a lower court decision from earlier this year. It was the first case Nick Brown brought forth as Washington's Attorney General. Brown says in a statement he's proud and emphasizes, quote, the president cannot redefine what it means to be American with the stroke of a pen. If you've ever taken light rail to SeaTac Airport, you may feel the worst part of that approach is the walk. It's a pretty good hike from the light rail station to the terminal, made tougher with luggage. Now, SeaTac Airport is announcing a pilot program to test a new driverless shuttle for travelers. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
During the testing phase, an engineer will ride along in the shuttle cart just to monitor everything. And right now, they are mapping out the space to get it ready for those test runs.
Well, as I mentioned, we're not going to talk about the Mariners right now, but it was a beautiful day at the VMAC in Renton yesterday where the Seahawks held their first day of open training camp. Second-year head coach Mike McDonald has high expectations for the team headed into the new season.
Our expectations can't be any higher than what we expect from ourselves. I mean, bring it on, we want to win the championship. But in order to do that, we have to become a championship team. We have to become the team that we're trying to be. We have a vision for our team of who we want to be, and we believe that vision is a team that the 12s are going to be really proud of. But it takes time. We got to put it together. We got to do all the work. We got to do all the meetings. We got to do all the reps. We got to make those tough decisions. I mean, there's so many things that need to happen between now and when we kick it off, but that's why just every day is so critical. You can't skip steps.
What a beautiful day it was there on the lake. Yesterday's camp was open for season ticket holders only. Tomorrow's practice will be the first open to the entire public. The team preparing for preseason Game 1 against Pete Carroll, coached Las Vegas Raiders August 7th. That game is going to be played here at Lumen Field in Seattle. It's now 6:12, and that's time for a look at weather. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. And we say good morning to KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
Good morning. A lot of sunshine out there around Seattle North, but we're starting to see some low clouds and patchy fog settle in. That'll be the case this morning, but I really do expect to see sunshine again this afternoon. Just know it'll take a little while, so when you see low cloud cover push in like you're seeing in Olympia, Tacoma, it will more than likely take until at least midday to see some sunshine increasing again, and then this afternoon going mostly sunny. Highs go from 83 yesterday to about 77 to 78 today from Seattle through Tacoma and into the South Sound. I'd say more like the low 70s around Everett North. Then tomorrow just looks cloudy with some drizzle to start the day, and I think you're only going to stay mostly cloudy. Late day sun breaks, but only sun breaks, looking mostly cloudy at about 70. But for Torchlight Saturday, clouds early, then sunshine in the afternoon, a high of about 72. So for the parade, you're in the upper 60s, low 70s. It looks fantastic. And then warming up again Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the upper 70s and even lower 80s. So it truly is more summertime weather.
We'll take it. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Right now, sunshine and 59 in Seattle. And at 6:13, time to get back to the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. What's on your mind, Sully?
Well, we're looking at the backup on southbound I-5 beginning at about 145th now, going down to Northgate, where the express lanes remain closed in the southbound direction, only open northbound, as you know, as we are on day 4 commuting through the month-long construction project on the Ship Canal Bridge, and we're looking at 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle, 35 from Everett to Bellevue, so people haven't quite started bailing yet to 405, but they're getting close. There's also some slowing up by the Boeing Freeway to deal with. The other issue we have on the board is a semi that's conked out, and we're looking at the left lane being blocked on eastbound 512, and we're backed up about 2 miles, not quite to Woodland, but we're getting there, so pretty heavy down the South Hill. Plan on at least a 10-minute delay there. Once you get to the Valley Freeway, it's not terrible, 45 minutes or less. You hit the brake lights around 15th Southwest, and you're on them to about 15th Northwest, so basically right through the merging there in the Everett area. Northbound I-5, Olympia to Tacoma is not too bad. A few brake lights up the hill to 18, and then a little bit past Federal Way. So 42 minutes to go from Federal Way to Seattle. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
It's now 6:15. Stay close for your choke point coming up. First, we check in with KIRO News Radio Scott Carty, who's in for Katrina.
Yeah, it's time to have a little bit of fun.
Please.
Happy Gilmore is not done with golf.
Mr. Gilmore? I haven't swung a club in years. I'm a little intimidated. All these guys hit it big now.
Yep, Adam Sandler returns as Happy Gilmore in Happy Gilmore 2. It releases on Netflix tonight at midnight.
I saw that yesterday. I can't wait.
And, basically it's the synopsis says that Sandler's short-fused legend swings for a comeback to make his kids' dreams come true. Now, this one is loaded with cameos. Bad Bunny is in it, Travis Kelce is in it, Ben Stiller, and even Adam Sandler's daughters are in the movie.
Oh, that's sweet.
Of course, Adam Sandler is Happy Gilmore, and Julie Bowen is in there, and Christopher McDonald returns as Shooter McGavin. So again, Happy Gilmore 2 tonight at midnight.
I saw some clips of the first one and went, oh my gosh, that was a long time ago.
Isn't it crazy?
He looks so young.
It's so crazy how long ago it was.
All right, thanks, Scott. It's 6:16.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Charlie's out for the rest of the week. It is time to unlearn 18 years of driving on northbound 167. Not too far away from a major change in the hot lane and tolling system from Sumner to Renton, and Sully's here to tell us about it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on the Valley Freeway.
Keep throwing it at us, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've got a little time to plan for this, but not too much longer, because you've seen the cameras go up. You've seen the new signage going up. The striping's on the way. Life as you've known it on the Valley Freeway is changing. The high occupancy toll lane from Auburn to Renton is becoming an express toll lane, just like the existing toll lanes on 405 between Bellevue and Linwood. The toll division's Lauren McLaughlin says the system is being upgraded to match all the other toll roads in the state.
We're modernizing the system and replacing equipment that's been in use there for about 18 years, and we're bringing it all up to the same standards we have with all our other toll roads.
But that comes with significant changes for those who use the roadway, and particularly for those who want to use it for free. Up to now, only solo drivers needed to have a pass to pay their way into the hot lane. Carpoolers didn't need a pass. You could just go in there and you wouldn't be told. It was the honor system. Now, carpoolers will need a pass, or they will be told.
You'll still be able to carpool toll free. You just have to have a flex pass set to HOV mode to do so, and that'll tell the system, hey, I've got my buddies with me, we're carpooling, don't charge me a toll.
The Flex Pass costs you $15, so everybody who used to be in there for free or who wants to be an HOV going forward on 167 going to have to pay $15. Put that thing in your window. Oh, plus tax. It's the same pass drivers have been using on 405 since it went open. But if you're in the toll lane after this transition without a Flex Pass, you will be charged the toll whether you have the proper amount of people in your car to qualify as an HOV. Drivers without a pass will be charged the toll plus $2 for pay by mail. This should eliminate the rampant cheating that 167 sees in the hot lane daily.
How do you feel about cheaters?
Well, in this one, I mean, come on. I mean, I wish we would have more enforcement to be able to have the state troopers out there pulling everybody out of the HOV lane. The problem is if you pull over everybody on 160, there isn't a place to pull them over, and then you just create a traffic backup. So it's hard to do that, but that's there. Believe me, there's going to be lots of enforcement when they start this. Now, you will also pay for a toll for how long you're actually in the lane. The new signs actually show segments of the highway, just like they do on 405. The signs will have toll amounts for 3 destinations. But McLaughlin says,
you're still only paying that one toll, but now you're paying for the amount of road you use, and you lock in the rate you see when you enter the lane there.
So you don't pay 3 separate tolls. You just pay the one toll for your destination. And you will also have limited options for getting in and out of the toll lane.
For most of the roadway, you're going to see those double white lines that are legal to cross, and then a certain entry and exit points that have a dashed line there to tell drivers, hey, this is where you get in, this is where you get out.
So you can't just jump in and out of the toll lane. Crossing that double white line is illegal, and it is incredibly dangerous. What about motorcycles? I always get asked about motorcycles.
They will actually need to get a motorcycle pass. So there's a special pass for motorcycles that they will need to carpool toll-free in the SR 167 express toll lanes. They're changing names now that it is upgrading system to keep it consistent with 405.
Now, the state hasn't released the exact date that this tolling system is going to go active, but it's sometime this fall. So they're going to have a huge campaign to remind everybody, to tell everybody what they do, because this is a huge change. So you can find all the information on what kind of pass you need or what it's going to look like at mynorthwest.com. I don't want anybody to get caught off guard by this, because this is a huge change for people who've been driving this for close to 20 years now.
I've been wondering this with the hot lanes on 405 and the Flex Pass, because now my wife and I have a baby, which the only reason we did that was to get the Flex Pass, basically, to use the hot lane. So is the only way to really enforce that, so say you have your Flex Pass, you have the marker over and you're going through, is the only way to enforce that with state troopers basically on
Pretty
the road?
well. The light flashes a different color when it's HOV versus white versus blue. So there's a queue there, but the only way for you really to be caught right now, because they don't have heat sensors in the car to see how many people are in the car, they only take a license plate read, is to see that you have your pass flipped to HOV and maybe only see a solo driver. And then they have to try to pull you over. It's very difficult to catch them illegally. But but that's the thing. And again, it's also going to be 3+ HOV during certain times of the day, not 2+, just like it is on 405. During the peak hours, in order to be free, you have to have 3 people in your car, not just 2. And so that's another big change for this.
I am very glad you've put it all at mynorthwest.com because I'm now thoroughly confused.
Okay, what are you confused about? Let me help you out.
This is why I live in the city and I don't have to deal with freeway driving.
But don't you want to be like all the cool kids and spend $15 plus tax to have something in your windshield?
No, and I don't want to spend an hour and a half getting to work either.
Yeah, and pay the $15 max for it and not move faster than everybody else.
My other problem is with the Flex Pass, oftentimes with that adhesive, especially in the sun of the summer, it will start to come unstuck from your windshield.
Does it?
Yeah, that has happened in multiple cars
Well,
to
they just
me
send
and
you
family members.
They'd
So
send you a replacement, wouldn't they?
I guess so. It's just an annoyance mostly.
Well, they have a 3-year warranty, so if anything happens inside that on a 3, you can get a new one. However, I did just find out earlier this year that while they have the 3-year warranty, they're not good for life. The battery in the system, it goes bad. I got a couple of tolls that were not warranted when I was HOV. I checked my good to go account and they're like, "Oh no." And I'm like, "Well, I have a Flex Pass." And they're like, "Oh, it probably went bad." So I had to go buy another one.
Who knew? They don't just replace it.
No, not after 3 years. No. So
you know everything about everything when it comes to traffic. I appreciate
and for
you.
tolling too, because there's a lot of confusion. This is a new thing for people in the South Sound. Maybe they don't go past Renton, and have never gone up the express toll lanes on 405. So yeah, big change, and I'm going to be hitting this really hard as this goes active later this fall.
There's your heads up. Let's talk about what's happening on the roads right now. It's 6:23, and Sully at the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk.
And surprise, surprise, we are definitely seeing a heavy backup from about 175th and Shoreline now, all the way down to where you would normally get into the express lanes on southbound I-5. Already 50 minutes from Everett into Seattle and 45 from Everett to Bellevue. A lot of early folks heading into that 405 corridor. I'm sure several of them, HOV or not, are in that express toll lane right now trying to work their way through. And oh, by the way, let me do something really quickly. If you're out there on 405 right now, let me get that accurate toll rate for you. Southbound, it's already at about $5.50, $5.75 to $6 right now, which is pretty expensive pretty early. So I'd get while the getting's good. Let's look at the other issue on the board, which continues to be the 2.5-mile backup on eastbound 512 trying to get into and through South Hill. That's because of a stalled semi that's blocking the left lane about halfway down the hill toward Meridian. Once you get over the Valley Freeway, it's going to be about 45 minutes from end to end. Renton to Bellevue's a little over 20 now. Northbound I-5 is really slow from 18 up past 320th. Give yourself a couple of extra minutes there. Federal Way to Seattle's running about 45 minutes now. Olympia to Tacoma, no issues. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
We're seeing some clouds around this morning, but partly sunny by afternoon. 77 the high for today, down to 70 with mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, and then through the weekend a mix of clouds and sun with highs in the low and mid 70s. Right now in Seattle, it's 59. And coming up, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey has more on the unsettling new documents released overnight surrounding the case of Brian Kohberger. Also, we'll get to your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro.
Congratulations, Ichiro, from a grateful city and KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable.
Right now, Kia of Everett has over 400 new vehicles available, and the great part, they're tariff-free. Hi, I'm Eric Butler, the General Manager with Kia of Everett. Tariff-free means you're going to save thousands of dollars. And our terrific lease and financing offers can help you purchase your new Kia now while the timing is right. The best drive to tariff-free savings is to Kia of Everett, where we make owning a new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Visit Kia of Everett at kiaofeverett.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
AAA asked me if I would change my name from Sir Mix-a-Lot to Sir Mix-a-Lot. I said, why would I do that? They said, you're more than just a rapper. You're a car collector. You're a businessman. You're an inventor. Just like AAA is more than just towing. They have awesome travel advisors and insurance agents. And they got 3 A's in their name. Maybe I should change my name. Give me 3 A's. Mix, A, mix, A. When I say mix, give me 3 A's. Mix, A.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through July 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event extended to July 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security. Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pains slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you, irgpt.com.
Seattle Children's is leading the fight against pediatric cancer with groundbreaking immunotherapy. But research is underfunded and kids need your help. Join Safeway and say yes at checkout to donate to Immunoheroes. Let's fight cancer for all kidkind.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:30. New information released in the Brian Kohberger case is painting a chilling picture about Kohberger and the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. We get the update this morning live from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, chilling is definitely the right word here. These newly released documents say one of the victims, Kaylee Gonsalves, had reported a strange man, a potential stalker, outside her house. And at another point, she also reported a strange man was following her in a grocery store. Yesterday, Kaylee's roommate, Dylan Mortensen, spoke during Kohberger's sentencing.
Because of him, for beautiful, genuine, compassionate people,
taken from this world.
Police also say they talked with a woman who met Kohberger on Tinder. She and Kohberger were talking about horror movies at one point, and then he asked her, apparently, what would be the worst way to die? She said a knife. Kohberger then asked her, like a K-bar, and she got uncomfortable and stopped talking with Kohberger. She told police. Police say, of course, Kohberger used a K-bar knife to kill his 4 victims. And finally, right around the time of the murders, one of Kohberger's fellow teaching assistants at WSU told police he noticed a shift in Kohberger's behavior. He also said Kohberger had a scratch on his face, and Kohberger said he got it from a car crash. Right before he was sentenced, Kohberger was asked if he wanted to say anything.
All right, Mr. Kohberger, you have an opportunity to make a statement if you wish to. I take it you are declining.
I respectfully decline.
Kohberger is serving 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Thanks for the update. We also have an update on a heartbreaking case out of Renton. King County prosecutors say a man shot and killed his girlfriend, her sister, and her 9-year-old daughter. This happened Saturday night, we've told you, inside the woman's apartment. Well, prosecutors now say a camera in the bedroom recorded the man, Steve Vasquez, waving a gun just an hour before police arrived. Darcy Moore, the woman he had been dating for only a month, was found dead in her bedroom. According to the Seattle Times, her sister and daughter were found near the back door. Vasquez is now charged with 3 counts of aggravated first-degree murder. He's been held on $10 million bail. And a big fire in Seattle's Central District this morning forced several evacuations. It started about 1:30 near 20th Avenue and East Marion Street. Seattle Fire says it started inside a building that was under construction and spread to 7 others. An apartment complex among those evacuated. More than 80 firefighters responded, including paramedics. KIRO 7 TV was on the scene and reports everyone made it out safely. One fire was firefighter that is treated for minor injuries. Crews are still on the scene this morning, keeping watch just in case it flares up again. It's now 6:33, and that is time to get back to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And we are up to an hour drive now from Everett into the Seattle area. About a 20-minute delay. The backup begins right around 175th in Shoreline and goes all the way down through the Northgate area to about 85th. A lot of people are bailing and heading over to 405 once again this morning, and we're up to 50 minutes there, so behind schedule by about 10 minutes. So we're off to what looks like another rough day coming out of Snohomish County with the closure of the express lanes in the southbound direction. The other issue we have on the board is down in the Puyallup area in South Hill. We actually are working with a stalled semi that is blocking the left lane about 2/3 of the way down the hill, back up over to Woodland, and so we're losing at least 10 minutes there. And then once you get to the Valley Freeway, it's manageable. Brake lights in Auburn, and then from about 180th on in, so about 45 to 50 minutes now from Puyallup to Renton. That's about normal. A little over 20 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Definitely slow up the Fife Hill past 18 all the way up to past 320th now. Getting reports of a crash just after that. So we're looking at 30 minutes to get you from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's about 10 minutes behind schedule. And then Federal Way to Seattle is running right around 45 minutes. This report brought to you by Fred Meyer Pharmacy, which is welcoming Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense plan members. You can transfer your prescription at fredmeyer.com/pay or update.
We're starting off with cloudy skies in spots again today, but sunshine by afternoon, warming up to about 77. Tomorrow will feel a little bit cool, only 70 tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. No rain in the forecast, but we won't see much of the sunshine tomorrow. The weekend looks great, though, partly to mostly sunny, highs in the low and mid 70s. Right now in Seattle, some sunshine and 59. And it's time for our opening bell report. A little more than a week out from that August 1st tariff deadline. That's when President Trump has promised to impose a 35% tariff on goods from our northern neighbors. At a virtual news conference, Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray was joined by Canadian politician David Eby.
The trade war that we're in right now that neither Washington State nor British Columbia nor Alaska asked for, but is being imposed on us by the president, is a recipe for mutually assured destruction.
The U.S. has already imposed a 50% tariff on steel and aluminum, which Canada exports to the U.S. Senator Murray points out the growing trade war with Canada puts Washington State at a very vulnerable position.
We actually import nearly $18 billion in goods from Canada each year.
And news of a U.S.-Japan trade agreement were followed by big gains on Wall Street yesterday. Today, China's president is set to host high-ranking European Union representatives for talks mainly centered around trade disputes.
I think the key issues between the European Union and China will be the trade disputes and the economic imbalances. You know, the European Union has a massive and increasing trade deficit with China. Europe obviously very concerned about Chinese goods flooding the European market, affecting sectors like EVs, solar panels, wind turbines, and steel.
That's CBS News correspondent Anna Corin. The Trump administration is planning to implement what it calls an action plan concerning artificial intelligence. CBS News reporter Aaron Navarro has more.
Rescinding a lot of the actions taken under President Biden in the last term regarding oversight, regarding risk mitigation when it comes to artificial intelligence. One thing that is listed in this plan is kind of severely reducing the permitting process to help speed up the actual manufacturing of what is needed to kind of boost AI production within the United States.
Artificial intelligence bots are not just for homework anymore. A new study says nearly 3/4 of all teenagers have tried using AI for friendship. News Nation's Anna Koyman has more.
A new survey by Common Sense Media asked more than 1,000 American teenagers about their AI use and found 72% have used AI companions like Character.ai or even chatbots like ChatGPT at least once. More than half say they use it at least a few times a month, but 13% say they use AI companions every single day, with 62% of daily users saying they use them multiple times a day.
Researchers say most teens still prefer real-life friendships, but they use AI as a safety net. The people behind Seabrook are planning something new, this time in Sequim. Developers Casey and Laura Roloff say they're building a 600-home village called West Bay. It'll sit above John Wayne Marina and have that same walkable small-town feel as Seabrook. The design comes from the same Portland firm that planned Seabrook. They say it'll mix boating culture with a touch of modern style and feel a bit like Port Townsend. Home prices, according to the Puget Sound Business Journal, some will be about $2.3 million, the same as Seabrook. And Awajimai is expanded again, this time to Issaquah. The popular Asian grocery chain has bought the lease on a former Rite Aid. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, it's in the Town and Country Square Shopping Center on Gilman Boulevard. This would be Awajimai's fourth store in the Puget Sound area. Checking Wall Street this morning, stocks are mixed. The Dow is down about 273 points at 44,736. S&P 500 up 5, and the Nasdaq is up about 44 points. A word now for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. 6:39. All right, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the drive out of Snohomish County. Another rough run brewing. We'll break it down for you next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's Morning News every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show, and even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Summer is in full swing, and T-Mobile Park is the hottest spot in Seattle.
Randy Arozarena, his 4th home run in the last 3 games, and he is high-stepping all the way to 3rd.
Don't miss out on special events like the next Mariners Fireworks Night on Friday, August 1st, presented by T-Mobile. Cal Raleigh and the crew are taking on the division rival Rangers at 7:10, and after the final out, we'll be lighting up the sky with an epic post-game show. fireworks, and Mariners baseball. That's 2 spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
Holy smokes, what a firecracker! Upper deck number 34 for the big number.
Go to Mariners.com to lock in your seats and check out what's on deck at the ballpark, including Aloha Shirt Day, Saturday, August 2nd. Plus, be here for more can't-miss post-game events. The Mariners Drone Show is August 22nd, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. And the final fireworks night of the season is September 12th. Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
It's 6:43, and that is time to get back to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. Here's Sully.
And we are definitely seeing backups through the Mill Creek interchange now on southbound I-5, trying to tie into 405. And then 405 itself is very busy away from Linwood all the way down to Canyon Park and kind of now extending south into Bothell. That goes with the I-5 southbound drive from Mount Lake Terrace all the way down past 85th. We're well over an hour now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, which is 20 minutes behind schedule and growing. And this, again, is a repeat from the last 3 days because of the express lanes being closed in the southbound direction. Looks like we're going to have a long-term problem on eastbound 512, about 2/3 of the way down the hill, down South Hill, that is. Left lane remains blocked for a conked-out semi. Just got an update from DOT. It looks like the guy's load shifted going down the hill, and it cut off all the air hoses. You ran into the back of the cab, and it's basically disabled itself because the load shifted. So they're going to have to stay there for a while until they can get that thing out of there. So we're seeing about a 2-mile backup behind it, and then the Valley Freeway's running around 50 minutes. Still searching for a crash on northbound I-5 just past 320th. We're heavy from Fife all the way up to Highway 18 and then on beyond. We've got about a 30-minute trip from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's plus 10. And then Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 45 minutes. The Renton to Bellevue drive, 35 minutes there, and we're looking at a pretty good drive across the lake bridges. So if you've loved the last 3 days, it looks like we're getting the same deal once again. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, it's going to be nice eventually. You might see the clouds where you are this morning. It'll clear off, sunshine by afternoon, warming up to about 77 today. Tomorrow will be Friday, and quite a bit cooler, about 74 tomorrow with a mostly cloudy day. No rain in the forecast, but it'll be gray. For Saturday and Sunday, nice mix of sun and clouds and highs in the low and mid-70s. It's 59 in Seattle right now. And at 6:45, we check in with KIRO News Radio Scott Carty in for Katrina.
Amanda, if I say Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman,
I say they did bad things.
Yeah, it flashes you right back to Operation Varsity Blues, the 2019 bust of a college admissions scam. The mastermind of that was William Rick Singer. He was sentenced to federal prison in early 2023 for 3.5 years is what he was supposed to be in for, and $10 million in restitution. Well, he was released early in March. Great. And CNN is reporting that William Rick Singer has a new job.
And
college admissions advising. What? Yep. Yep, that's
why?
What he's doing. He's working for ID Future Stars, which is an admissions consulting company owned by his sister. And the judge has required him to make sure that he has to list that he was prosecuted, that he was convicted, and that he has to advise everybody of his criminal history, and he has to just be upfront about that. So that's listed on their webpage in the terms and conditions, of course, which nobody reads.
Keep it in the family.
And now he's back working at it.
Thanks for the update.
It's kind of crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
6:46, we're about to learn some things. Luke Ducey is here, and you have a tech talk coming up. What's up?
Yeah, you remember that attack on Microsoft SharePoint
just last week?
Just last week. I'm going to tell you all about it, how it happened, why it happened, and the damage it did. That's coming up.
All right, that's next on Seattle's Morning News.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
Seahawks Football Fest is back at Lumen Field, Saturday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. Kick off your weekend with this exclusive practice in an evening full of football, family, and fun. Meet Seahawks legends, Seahawks dancers, and Blitz. Check out the gaming zone, face painters, live music, and DJ, and don't miss the autographed football toss. There's entertainment for all ages. Get an inside look at your 2025 Seattle Seahawks at Football Fest. Get your tickets at Seahawks.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Want to see the Seahawks take on the Raiders at the preseason home opener August 7th? KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets. Just listen to Seattle's Morning News all week from 6 to 9 for the daily code word. Then open the KIRO Radio News app, tap the Win tab, and enter. You can enter once a day from July 23rd through 28th to boost your chances. Full details at mynorthwest.com/win. We'll see you at the game.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
6:49 on your Thursday morning. Thanks for making us a part of your day here on Seattle's Morning News. As I mentioned, we're about to learn some things. In today's Tech Talk, you may have heard about the recent cyber attack involving Microsoft SharePoint. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains what it's all about.
Thousands of companies and organizations under threat of cyber attack. And no matter what they tried, there was no way to stop it.
Which makes this attack even scarier.
Because often the victims being targeted don't have the tools to stay safe.
It's not even just that they're exposed, but they don't even have the capability to deal with it.
Michael Sikorsky is the Chief Technology Officer and Head of Threat Intelligence for Unit 42 at Palo Alto Networks. He's been tracking a critical vulnerability being exploited by hackers in Microsoft's widely used SharePoint software in so-called on-prem servers, which are servers located on-site at a company's own data center or facility.
We're talking about schools impacted, hospitals, state and local government agencies.
According to well-known security firm iSecurity, 85 on-prem servers have been compromised, impacting 54 organizations that we know about. Microsoft sounded the alarm last Saturday, telling customers they were aware of the attacks, but were still working to fix the issue.
That's the scary part to me, is like they're almost like it's a helpless situation.
By exploiting the vulnerability in SharePoint, which is a platform that people use to create files and documents and also work on those documents together at the same time, bad guys were bypassing privacy and identity controls like multi-factor authentication to hack into a company's private SharePoint files. Once inside, they could steal data and set up secret backdoor access to steal data in the future. However, two aspects of this attack were red flags for security experts. The exploit was a zero-day exploit, meaning it was a total surprise, and Microsoft had 0 days to develop a patch.
And they were, exposed for days.
Also, according to the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, the exploit affecting SharePoint was a variant of another existing vulnerability which Microsoft fixed in previous updates. In this case, 2 SharePoint vulnerabilities were discovered in May during a hackathon contest. Microsoft issued patches for those bugs in July, but by then, other hackers exploited those bugs to find more vulnerabilities. The more bugs, the more fixes, the more fixes, the more hackers pay attention.
Attackers overall will take a look at that fix and figure out, well, why did that fix go out, and sort of reproduce the issue that was there. And so once they do that, it sort of becomes much more widespread.
Too often, for schools and government offices, extra security can be expensive and require IT staff and budget they may not have. Even with Microsoft's patches available, it can be a challenge to implement.
You're talking SharePoint. If you're going to patch that, now you need to take it down. That means your people are not going to get access to their files for some period of time. So you got to do it late at night, and you got to upgrade essentially. Well, if you don't have staff to do it, that leaves you as a sitting duck.
And chances are the damage is already done.
And one thing we've been telling them is you need to assume that you've been compromised at this point.
So, Amanda, a couple of things here. When it comes to fixing vulnerabilities, this is how it works in tech. I don't think a lot of people know this. Most of the time, finding and fixing software vulnerabilities relies on an unwritten system known as responsible disclosure. So a person or a company, in their company's design, this is all they do. They make a lot of money doing this. They find a vulnerability. They inform a tech company like Microsoft, hey, we found this thing. Microsoft then fixes it within 90 days and sends out an update to all of our computers, you and me. But after it's fixed, per the gentleman's agreement, the finder is then allowed to publish articles about what they found. Look how great we are. We did an awesome thing. And they also collect a bounty from Microsoft. Sometimes it's $500,000 or more. It's a lot of money. This is an ecosystem that works. However, with a 0-day attack, all of that gets thrown out the window. Also, if about the SharePoint issue, if you or your company are using Microsoft Cloud instead of the on-prem server, you're safe. Don't worry about it. It's just this older technology that can cost a lot of money to upgrade.
Security people will yell at me, but I kind of always feel like a sitting duck, and sometimes I just feel like throwing my arms in the air and going, like, if they want my info, they've got it.
If you've got here's the key. Put your automatic updates on. And if you're a Microsoft customer, your computer systems, those patches will automatically go to your computer. Sometimes you have to turn it on and off, but they'll let you know that as well. But this one was a big one.
All right. Thanks, Luke.
You bet.
6:53, we need to get over to the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk once again. Here's Sully.
And the backup on southbound I-5 begins in Mount Lake Terrace. Stop me if you've heard this before, the last 3 days. And we got about an 8-mile backup that goes all the way down to about 85th, hour and 10-minute drive. Yep.
I'm stopping you.
Okay.
Because I've heard you.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See you guys later. Good luck. Yeah, it's, again, we're looking at the same deal as we've had the last couple of days. Hour and 10 from Everett to Seattle, about a 25-minute delay. We're also seeing a lot more people on 405, though it does have a little capacity. It's a little over an hour, but not by much. We're also starting to see very heavy brake lights through Kenmore, Lake Forest Park, people using 522, then Lake City Way to work their way around. So that's filling in. 99 has got some capacity as well. Looks like we have a stalled box truck in a center lane, and that's causing the backup from Fife all the way up past Highway 18, and then it's just after 320th. So we've got about a 30-minute drive from Tacoma to Federal Way, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running around 50 minutes, and all of it is right there. Looking at the eastbound direction of 512, about a 3-mile backup now from Woodland all the way down the South Hill. Conked out semi, going to be there for a while in the left lane as you approach Meridian. Olympia to Tacoma is not bad. Renton to Bellevue is running right around 30 minutes. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Sunshine and 77 by afternoon. It's 59 right now. And the Seattle Seahawks preseason home opener is August 7th. We want to send you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks take on the Las Vegas Raiders in person. What you need to do, open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab, and enter the code word ENDZONE. If you don't have the app, simply text app to 888-973-5476. The contest runs through Monday, July 28th.
Summer's fast approaching, which makes this the perfect time to get ready for the busy season with help from WaFd Bank. Get ahead of the game with services like payment processing so customers can buy through kiosk, mobile, online, contactless, whatever way they want to pay. Plus, get industry-leading security and personalized help from dedicated IT support so you can get back to the important stuff. WaFd Bank has the knowledge and experience to make your business goals a reality. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange, a permanent solution to distance, intermediate, and near vision problems. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless.
And because we've performed over 100,000 procedures and followed the outcomes, we have the experience to know if RLE is right for you.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at k2visionrle.com and let's get your vision feeling young again, permanently.
Go to k2visionrle.com.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series, Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
Right now, Kia of Everett has over 400 new vehicles available. And the great part, they're tariff-free. Hi, I'm Eric Butler, the General Manager with Kia of Everett. Tariff-free means you're going to save thousands of dollars. And our terrific lease and financing offers can help you purchase your new Kia now while the timing is right. The best drive to tariff-free savings is to Kia of Everett, where we make owning a new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Visit Kia of Everett at kiaofeverett.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The largest health insurance company in the country confirms it's under investigation by the Department of Justice. CBS's Stacey Lynn has our top story.
United Health says it's facing a federal criminal and civil investigation over its Medicare billing practices. The company says it is complying and has also launched a third-party review of its business policies and performance metrics. This comes after the Wall Street Journal reported in May that federal officials had launched an investigation into the healthcare giant over possible Medicare fraud.
United Health stock down 2% right now. Congress has gone home for summer break, but House Speaker Mike Johnson is still focused on the Jeffrey Epstein scandal and a push by both Democrats and Republicans to get the Justice Department to release the case files. This week, reports said the Attorney General told President Trump his name appears multiple times. Our Major Garrett asked the Speaker if he agrees with the President that it's all a hoax.
Oh, it's not a hoax. Of course not.
More from correspondent Natalie Brand.
The White House, the communications director, issued a statement about this new report, saying in part, the fact is that the president kicked Epstein out of his club for being a creep. This is nothing more than a continuation of what the White House calls fake news stories concocted by the Democrats and the liberal media.
Turns out those messages shared by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth in a Signal chat in March had been labeled secret.
Sources tell the Washington Post those plans to attack Houthi rebels in Yemen were first shared with some defense officials in a classified email system. Hegseth then posted those details in an unclassified group chat on the Signal app. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard told Congress days later,
as the President National Security Advisor stated, no classified information was shared.
The Signal leak came to light because the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic was mistakenly included in one of the chats. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A deadly heat dome still making much of the South and Midwest uncomfortable. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano.
The heat and humidity over the next 3 days will feel like up and over 100 degrees in Memphis. A break in the Northeast, but St. Louis, D.C., Charleston, Dallas all remain hot and humid in a dangerous level through the weekend.
Despite all of the controversy over books found in schools today, a just-released report from the National Council of Teachers of English finds the most taught books in American classrooms, still the classics.
Every allied government gave me a decoration. Major J. Gatsby for Valor Extraordinary.
Yep, titles like The Great Gatsby, Romeo and Juliet, and Of Mice and Men. Dow down 238. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Well, it's 7:03. Let's get you on the road. Back to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. Here's Chris Sullivan.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Here we go.
And
Same
again,
deal,
and
and again, and again. Because of the closure of the southbound express lanes on I-5, we've got a backup of about 8 miles, extending all the way to Mount Lake Terrace, all the way down past 85th, and kind of spilling into the U District now. So it's an hour and a half to go from Everett to Seattle, with about an hour and 10 of that from Linwood. Everett to Bellevue, about an hour and 15, with about an hour just under that just from Linwood. So it is pretty ugly as we try to make our way around. And of course, because things are so gummed up north,
it's a reminder that yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
$15 in that express toll lane as you make your way south away from Linwood. They're making bank with
we should start making traffic bingo cards.
We probably should. I don't mean to be having so much fun with this because I know you people are struggling out there, but I mean, I'm trying to be a little comic relief here. Looking at the northbound I-5 drive, this stalled box truck we have near 320th is really doing a number on the drive out of Fife. We've got a backup that extends all the way down to 70th. It's 35 minutes to go from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's plus 15. And then Federal Way to Seattle itself is running around 50. Valley Freeway, we're looking at about 45 minutes. Rented to Bellevue's a half an hour. Looks like we're still working with that stalled semi on eastbound 512 halfway down the hill in the left lane. This traffic report is brought to you by D.R. Horton. The National Red Tag Sales event has been extended through July 27th. Visit D.R. Horton Community today. drhorton.com, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. Charlie Harger has the day off. I'm Manda Factor. Just one day after we told you about an increase in knife-related assaults in Seattle, there's been another stabbing. This time, a woman at a bus stop was stabbed in the cheek. We get more live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Police say that 43-year-old woman had just stepped off a bus late last night, got into some sort of argument with the suspect, and he stabbed her in the face. Yesterday, SPD Detective Brian Pritchard told our James Lynch, yes, there are more and more stabbings in the city.
We don't have any indication that it's people that are unhoused or anything like that. Like I said, usually during the summer months, assaults do go up, and right now there's tend to be more stabbing.
So this latest attack happened on North 105th Street and Aurora Avenue. Police say the 34-year-old suspect took off down an alley, and they arrested him a couple blocks later. The victim was taken to Harborview Medical Center. Since April, police say there have been 20 knife-related assaults on Seattle streets, some of them fatal. SPD says it is the summer months. That's when violent crimes tend to increase. And Manda, they've already been aggressively trying to get illegal guns off the streets. So they say it sounds like the bad guys are now grabbing knives instead.
Thanks for the update. A fire broke out in Seattle's Central District early this morning, causing several buildings to be evacuated. The fire has been contained, and KIRO TV's Ranji Sinha is on the scene.
We're at the corner of Marion and 20th Avenue, and we follow this hose right here on the ground. We can see into that narrow space behind this apartment building. That is where the fire was happening. It was a building under construction, according to the Seattle Fire Department spokesperson. And this narrow space is what firefighters had to get through in order to get water on that fire. And it's surrounded, I should say, by a number of other buildings. And the buildings had to be evacuated. 7 buildings were touched by the fire. Fire crews that initially arrived here realized that it was spreading. So they called out a number of other resources trying to get water on this fire and put it out.
Seattle Fire says one of their firefighters is being treated for minor injuries. No other injuries reported. The search continues for the person who stole an Everett fire engine last Friday and crashed into 11 vehicles. Everett Fire Chief Dave DeMarco spoke to the city council yesterday.
While I can't explain or apologize for the senseless act of a criminal, I'm still very sorry that this happened. And I want to reassure the community that every Everett firefighter is working hard to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Crews were inside an apartment building for a medical call when the thief took off in the rig. A backup engine was rolled out immediately. Damage is still being assessed, and the department is reviewing new fleet security options.
Seattle's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Good morning. It is 7:08. It's Thursday, July 24th already. How'd that happen? Charlie Harger is on vacation. I'm Manda Factor. Sully's here checking the roads for us every 10 minutes on the threes through this construction mess. Producer David Burbank is in. How about those Mariners? We were so excited for an afternoon game yesterday, David. Didn't go quite as planned, did it?
It did not.
No.
But, every day is a new game. So now they head down to Anaheim, take on the Angels.
Chance to start a whole new winning streak. Scott Carty's in for Katrina this weekend. Nick Gracia's in the control room running the board. KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden sat down with, actually, coming up on this hour of the show, we're going to have, Paul Holden did sit down with one of Seattle's greatest video game visionaries to prepare for the city's indie game conventions coming up. All right. Plus, why more and more teens are turning to artificial intelligence for their friendships. We'll hear about that study from News Nation correspondent Anna Koyman. It's now 7:08. One person is dead after a multi-car crash in Lake Stevens. This happened about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon at Highway 92 and 44th Street Northeast. According to the Everett Herald, one car hit another, pushing it into a pickup. In all, 5 vehicles were involved. One person died at the scene, 2 others taken to the hospital with unknown injuries. State Patrol is still trying to figure out what caused it. Kirkland police say a man stole more than $826,000 from his own mother. Detectives arrested him last week after months of investigating. It started with a tip from Washington State Adult Protective Services. The woman lives in a retirement home and had named her son power of attorney. That gave him access to the accounts. Police say an extended family member got suspicious and called APS. According to KIRO 7 TV, detectives pulled financial records and saw the money trail. The man was booked into the King County Jail. The case is now with the prosecutor's office. The family of a man shot and killed in White Center over the weekend is still processing what happened, and they spoke exclusively with KIRO 7.
I don't necessarily even believe it yet, because I'm still waiting on his FaceTime call. My dad was a superhero. We call him Superman.
52-year-old James Sears died. His son, Jay Mott, was seriously injured in the shooting. King County Sheriff's deputies arrested the suspect. The gunfire erupted after a car accident. A federal court has once again blocked former President Donald Trump's push to end birthright citizenship. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals says his executive order goes against the Constitution, specifically the 14th Amendment, which guarantees citizenship to anyone born in the U.S. The judge says the order contradicts the plain language of the Constitution. The ruling temporarily stops the order from taking effect nationwide. This was the first case Nick Brown brought forth as Washington Attorney General. We're a little more than a week out from August 1st tariff deadline. That's when President Trump has promised to impose a 35% tariff on goods from our northern neighbors. At a virtual news conference, Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray was joined by Canadian politician David Eby.
The trade war that we're in right now that neither Washington State nor British Columbia nor Alaska asked for but is being imposed on us by the president, is a recipe for mutually assured destruction.
The U.S. has already imposed a 50% tariff on steel and aluminum, which Canada exports to the U.S. Senator Murray points out the growing trade war with Canada puts Washington state at a vulnerable position.
We actually import nearly $18 billion in goods from Canada each year.
Meanwhile, news of a U.S.-Japan trade agreement were followed by gains on Wall Street yesterday. Former Seahawk Bobby Wagner is now part of the Seattle Storm family off the court. The 10-time Pro Bowl linebacker just joined the team's ownership group. Storm leadership says Wagner brings heart, hometown pride, and a real passion for women's sports. He's the latest athlete to invest in a pro team. It's happening as WNBA values climb. Forbes says the Storm are now worth $330 million. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, that's third in the league behind only New York and Indiana. Well, it was a beautiful day down at the VMAC in Renton yesterday where the Seahawks held their first day of open training camp. Second-year head coach Mike McDonald has high expectations for the team heading into the new season.
Our expectations can't be any higher than what we expect from ourselves. I mean, bring it on, we want to win the championship. But in order to do that, we have to become a championship team. We have to become the team that we're trying to be. We have a vision for our team of who we want to be, and we believe that vision is a team that the 12s are going to be really proud of. But it takes time. We got to put it together. We got to do all the work. We got to do all the meetings. We got to do all the reps. Got to make those tough decisions. I mean, there's so many things that need to happen between now and when we kick it off, but that's why just every day is so critical. You can't skip steps.
Yesterday's camp was for season ticket holders. Tomorrow's will be open to the public. The team prepares for a preseason Game 1 against the Pete Carroll-coached Las Vegas Raiders August 7th. That game will be played at Lumen Field, and we want to send you and 3 friends to watch that game in person. What you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab, and enter the code word ENDZONE. If you don't have the app, you can text app to 888-973-5476, and we'll send you a link to download. Listen daily to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, July 28th. 7:13, that's time for a check on the weather. It is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. And here's KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
I checked, and I think the Seahawks need to score more points than the other team next year.
That is how it works.
I think so. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure.
I have high hopes.
Yeah, I do too. There's a lot of talk about that. We're looking for some increasing sunshine between now and say about 9 to 10. You'll have some clouds, but then after that we have increasing sunshine, and it will be a beautiful day, getting up to say the upper 70s and lower 80s. Really nice weather overall. And tomorrow, though, it's cloudy. We have drizzle, we have mist, and we'll eventually turn mostly cloudy, but just late day sun breaks is all I really expect to see. And then we'll go with afternoon sunshine on Saturday, getting up to about 72, which means for the Torchlight, you're in the upper 60s and lower 70s, with upper 70s Sunday, low 80s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So you just sort of have to deal with the up and down a little bit of temperatures, but we're absolutely going to see sunshine, and it does look fantastic.
Nice for the weekend. Thanks, Nick. Right now in Seattle, sunshine and 59. And time to get back to the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. Here's Sully.
All right. We're up to 90 minutes now to make the drive from Everett down into Seattle. Hour and 10 of that away from Linwood. So 30-minute delays this morning. Basically a carbon copy of the last 3 mornings. Pretty much giving us a good indication that there really aren't many good alternatives to deal with this situation. And the situation is the closure of the express lanes in the southbound direction because of work northbound on I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge. A lot of people are bailing over to 405, and it's running about an hour and 20 from Everett into Bellevue. An hour of that is from Linwood, so that's about a 30-minute delay as well. Looks like we've got a 6-mile backup now on northbound I-5 trying to get out of Tacoma. When you work your way from Fife all the way up past 320th, that's because of a stalled box truck in the left center lane. We're looking at 40 minutes to go from Tacoma to Federal Way, which is 20 minutes worth of a delay. And with everyone trapped there, we've got about a 50-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway, 45 minutes from end to end, a half an hour Renton to Bellevue. And we're still working with this left lane being blocked for a stalled semi halfway down South Hill towards Puyallup. This traffic report is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Has you covered with over 300 new Subarus on the lot. Come in now so you can secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
It's 7:15, and Katrina is off today, so we check in with KIRO News Radio's Scott Carty.
And I am counting down to midnight.
Mr. Gilmore? I haven't swung a club in years. I'm a little intimidated. All these guys hit it big now.
Happy Gilmore 2 releases on Netflix tonight at midnight. Adam Sandler returns. Of course, Julie Bowen and Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin. Because Happy Gilmore isn't done with golf yet. Not by a long shot. This one has been in the making for a bit, and people are really excited about it. They're also very excited for a number of crazy cameos in this. Bad Bunny is in it. Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs. Ben Stiller and even Adam Sandler's daughters are in the film.
Can't wait. I loved the first one so much. It's 7:16.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Welcome into Seattle's Morning News. I am Paul Holden, and joining me today as we are gearing up for one of my favorite weekends in Seattle, we have PAX coming up in the end of August. But before that, we want to highlight and focus some of the great innovation and great games coming out of the Seattle area. And joining me today is Tim Collins. And Tim, we are talking about Slice, and we're going to get to that in a second. But tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a quick introduction on who you are.
I'm Tim Collins, Executive Director of Seattle Indies. I've been in the games industry for 15 years, worked at places like Oculus. I used to run Global Game Jam, which is a global game creation event that happens in January. Now I've been with Seattle Indies for almost 10 years now, and doing that full time for the last couple of years. So yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the impact on just the Seattle area is for? I mean, in one of the emails I was getting, there's something like thousands of game developers here in Seattle. Can you just kind of give an insight into just how many people are working in video games here in Seattle?
At last count, it was over 40,000 people working in the industry. Seattle is the second largest hub of game development in the United States, behind Los Angeles. We create over $14 billion in revenue for the state of Washington, so it's a huge impact on the region.
$14 billion. What is there anything? I mean, obviously, a lot of the companies are out here. You have some of the big heavy hitters. Is there anything else other than that access that makes it such a hotbed for video games and innovation?
Yeah, I mean, we have the great academic support of places like DigiPen, University of Washington, AIE, that's right over there in Seattle Center, Lake Washington Institute of Technology, Bellevue College are all adding to the ecosystem of new game developers. And then, like you said, we have big companies like Microsoft, Valve, Bungie, Sucker Punch, Niantic, Nintendo, you name it. They're all here either in Seattle or Bellevue or the area, bringing thousands of people here to come work. And of course, the beautiful nature of the Seattle region draws a lot of people here as well.
And that's what we want to talk. Let's zoom in a little bit here. So let's talk about what is Slice. And it's funny for me, I actually I put on a Mario baseball tournament that uses the same name. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, of course I got to talk about this. But tell us a little bit about Slice and what it means for our independent video game developers.
Yes, Slice is our new industry event. There hasn't really been a game developer-focused event here in Seattle in some time. We used to have an event called PAX Dev that would happen with PAX, but that went away before COVID. So we're trying to bring back something for our developers, for the founders, the business owners, the people who are making games right here in Seattle. They all have to travel someplace else like San Francisco or Las Vegas or Germany even to meet all the same people you can meet right here in Seattle. When we have 50,000 almost game developers working here, there should be an event for those people. So Slice is going to be a one-day event with talks, panels, roundtables, opportunities to meet platform holders, investors, funders, founders, game developers, and it'll be happening at McCaw Hall August 27th. We're looking forward to it. So.
Man, and just how important is it for to have access to these resources for these developers? You're talking about getting these people in front of what could be a life-changing opportunity for some of these guys, getting people that might fund their game or help publish their game.
It's super important. The industry is going through a bit of some challenging times in the last couple of years, a transition period, I would say, where the bigger companies have been reducing force a little bit, so a lot of people are starting their own companies, making their first foray into making their own games and building studios. And we're trying to provide a support base for those people, and Slice is really going to be the connecting point for that to happen, for people to meet potential investors and funders to get their games made, because that's really the difficult part of this whole process is finding those people with the investment money, finding the people with the business knowledge. Like, we're all really good at what we do, at making great video games. Some of the best games of all time have come from this region, but the business side of it is a little more something that we're not as familiar with, so we're trying to give people that opportunity to learn more about business and also grow their career opportunities.
Can you give a little insight into just what has been happening in the video game industry and what you're hearing from some of the developers that you're working with? Is it, I feels like it might be an intimidating time or a worrisome time but people want to chase their goals, make their dreams. I mean, we're talking about thousands of layoffs that have been kind of continuing for a couple of years now. It's definitely been a tumultuous time in the video game industry. What have you heard from people that you've been working with or your connections as the industry goes through this transition, like you mentioned?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenging time. I mean, I've personally been impacted by it, and I know a lot of people who have. I mean, we just had a really rough week a couple weeks ago with Microsoft letting a bunch of people go from the Xbox department. It's just a lot of restructuring. I think there was a huge boom of hiring during the COVID years when everybody was stuck inside and all they had was video games, and people kind of overestimated how long that impact was going to happen, I think. So now we're seeing a transition phase of the big companies not investing as much in as many games as they had been in the past, and trying to figure out how to make more from less while there's still tens of thousands of people working in the industry who are passionate about what we do, great at what we do. They're building their own businesses. They're hiring people from the region and from abroad to keep the industry going and to keep doing what they love. So that's a big part of what Seattle Indies does, is we're here to support game developers all over the Seattle region with events and meetups and opportunities to meet people who might invest in their games.
Awesome. Is there anything that we didn't cover? Any other last things that folks should know about Slice or Seattle Indies?
Just if you're interested in making games, just check us out. Come to one of our events, join our Discord, seattleindies.org, seattleslice.org. We hope to see you there in August.
Yeah, Slice in August 27th at McCaw Hall. You can get in on the local action before all the PAX action. Again, 40,000 people working in games in the Seattle region, which is awesome to hear. We'll have lots more coverage and lots more from PAX and Slice on mynorthwest.com.
It's 7:23. Let's check the drive now. Back to Chris Sullivan. He's at the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk.
Wow, is this Monday?
No.
Tuesday?
But it looks like it.
How about Wednesday?
Looks like it.
Looks exactly the same. The map looks exactly the same. I don't have any good options for you after 4 days of this. I'm not sure what I mean, this is, I guess, what our life is going to be until this project wraps up on the Ship Canal Bridge August 18th.
Maybe it'll be one of those miraculous things, and 2 weeks early they go, guess what? We finished.
Oh, wow, that would be fabulous. But they're working really hard around the clock, so we'll see what we do. But yeah, right now we've got a bumper-to-bumper backup that begins right around the Mount Lake Terrace area, and I'm getting reports there might actually be a new crash right at 175th. So that's kind of adding a salt to the wound. It's an hour-and-a-half trip from Everett into Seattle, an hour and 10 of that from Linwood. Same deal for 405. We've got about an hour and 20-minute trip for you guys. All of that is away from Linwood. It does get better right there past 522 the further south you go. Got an update from the DOT. We now have the 2 right lanes blocked on northbound I-5 after 320th. That's for this stalled box truck that they're working with. 6-mile backup behind that. 40 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way is about 25 longer than it should be. And then Federal Way to Seattle is about 45. Valley Freeway still dealing with a 45-minute trip, which isn't bad. 30 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Lake bridges are okay, and we still have this stall eastbound 512 down the South Hill. Left lane remains blocked. This traffic report is brought to you by Superior Linen Service. 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, logoed apparel, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone, or visit suplinen.com.
We're seeing clouds this morning. Sunshine by afternoon, though, in 77. Tomorrow staying mostly cloudy. Nick Allard of KIRO 7 says we might even see a little drizzle, a high of 70 tomorrow. Right now, it's 59 in Seattle. And coming up, why teens are turning to AI for friendship. News Nation weekend anchor Anna Koyman joins us on Seattle's Morning News.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro.
Congratulations, Ichiro, from a grateful city and KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BlowingClassic.com for more.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
At Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, we get that your teeth, your budget, and your story are all unique to you, which is why our experts who specialize in dental implants will build a custom solution around each patient's needs. With personalized treatment plans and third-party financing options, we'll help you get your new teeth on your terms. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today and let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Office is owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
If you're traveling through the SCA airport this summer, use the new Security Checkpoint 1 at the south end of baggage claim. Just one of the many upgrade SCA projects taking your airport from now to well. Stay up to date on all airport projects by following @FlySEA.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:31. New information released in the Brian Kohberger case is painting a chilling picture about Kohberger and the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. We get the update live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Amanda, these newly released documents say one of the victims, Kaylee Gonsalves, told police at one point about a strange man, a potential stalker, outside their house. She also reported a strange man was following her in a grocery store. Yesterday, Kaylee's sister went after Kohberger during his sentencing.
Exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic loser. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over.
Police also say they talked with a woman who met Kohberger on Tinder. She and Kohberger apparently talked about horror movies, and then he asked her what would be the worst way to die. She said, a knife. Kohberger asks, like a K-bar? And she got uncomfortable, police say, and she stopped talking with Kohberger. Police say, of course, Kohberger used a K-bar knife to kill his 4 victims. Finally, right around the time of the murders, one of Kohberger's fellow teaching assistants at WSU told police he noticed a shift in Kohberger's behavior. He also said Kohberger had a scratch on his face, and Kohberger said he got that in a car crash. Well, yesterday, Judge Stephen Hippler sentenced Kohberger to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Even in pleading guilty, he is giving nothing hinting of remorse or redemption, let alone regret for the pain that he has caused. And therefore, I will not attempt to speak about him further, other than to simply sentence him so that he is forever removed from civilized society.
Amanda, chilling details coming out, and as more and more details do come out in the coming days, hopefully the families can find some peace and some closure.
All right, thanks, Luke. A shooting in Burien this morning. It happened near 2nd Avenue Southwest and Highway 509. The King County Sheriff's Office says someone called 911 and admitted to shooting a person on their property. Como TV reports deputies arrested 1 suspect. SeaTac police also responded. The Major Crimes Unit is now handling the case, and investigators have not said what sparked it. And a fire tore through part of Seattle's Central District early this morning. That started about 1:30 near 20th and East Marion. Seattle Fire says it started in a building under construction and spread to 7 others. That includes an apartment complex which had to be evacuated. KIRO 7 TV was on the scene reporting that more than 80 firefighters were called in. Everyone made it out safely, just minor injuries to 1 firefighter. It's 7:34, and that's time to get back to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. Here's Chris Sullivan.
Little positive news. The new crash we had on southbound 5 at 175th moved over to the right shoulder pretty quickly. So hopefully that won't add too much of a backup to the misery that we already have. Southbound I-5, a little bit better than yesterday. The backup now kind of begins right around 175th, so not quite all the way back up through Mount Lake Terrace entirely. Travel time just a little bit under an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle. An hour and 10 of that is from Linwood. But 405, though, definitely taking the brunt. We've got basically a backup that begins right by the Alderwood Mall and continues all the way down to 160th as you make your way past 522, and it is an hour and a half drive from Everett to Bellevue, an hour and 10 of that from Linwood, and so again, 25 minutes worth of a delay. Renton to Bellevue is getting closer to 40. The Valley Freeway isn't too bad, only 45 minutes. Still have about a 6-mile backup on northbound I-5 from Fife up past 320th. Box truck still blocking 2 right lanes, and we've got about a 40-minute trip from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's about a 20-minute delay for you. Then Federal Way to Seattle's only running 45 minutes. That's pretty great. The lake bridges are manageable. This report brought to you by FlySeaportAir.com. Introducing convenient flights between Boeing Field and Portland on Seaport Airlines. Parking just steps away. No TSA. FlySeaportAir.com.
We're seeing some clouds in some areas this morning, but eventually we'll all see sunny skies by afternoon. 77 the high for today. Quite a bit cooler as we stay cloudy for tomorrow, around 70. We might even see a little light drizzle at times. Saturday and Sunday rebounding, though. A mix of sun and clouds, highs in the low and mid-70s. Right now, partly sunny and 58 in Seattle.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO Newsradio.
It's 7:36. Well, AI continues to advance at a rapid rate. We're talking about it every day, with the president just yesterday saying he plans to implement an action plan around AI technology. One of the more interesting trends we've seen with artificial intelligence is how people are interacting with it socially. Some new research demonstrates more teens are using AI for friendship. Let's chat with weekend anchor of News Nation Live Weekends, Anna Koyman. Anna, good morning. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this one.
Hey, how are you? I know what you mean. I mean, it feels like it's right out of a movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, so where is this research coming from?
Yeah, so there's a new survey by Common Sense Media, and it asked more than 1,000 American teenagers about their AI use. So I'll throw quite a few numbers at you in just a second, but I think it will really help to paint the picture. I mean, artificial intelligence, it came here so quickly, but it is not going anywhere. So the new research is showing bots are kind of the new besties, new best friends in some ways. Artificial intelligence companions, it's not just part of this like teenage tech fad either. AI companions are really reshaping how a whole generation processes emotion, asks for help, and builds trust. But that kind of dependence, especially for kids or teenagers still learning how to properly socialize, it can come at a cost. I think that's why we're talking about it so much today. But it found that, again, 72% have used AI companions like Character.ai, if you've heard of that one, or many of your listeners, I'm sure, have heard of ChatGPT and used that at least once. More than half of the folks that they surveyed said that they used it several times a month. 13% say they use AI companions every single day. So these AI friends every day, with 62% of these daily users saying they call on their AI companion multiple times a day. The teenagers say that they use the chatbots for things like, yes, of course, entertainment, you've heard, but also emotional support and decision making. So asking their companion, hey, what should I do in this situation? And then they play out the scenario that they are currently dealing with. And then it also helps them to deal with loneliness because AI always listens, it doesn't judge, and it's always there for them. And then I have to say that one of the wildest statistics that I heard, though, was that 1 out of 3 teenagers, 1 out of 3, so a third of them, says they have talked to AI about something personal before, whether that is instead of or beforehand, telling a real friend or a real family member. So a third of teenagers are choosing an AI companion over a real friend or a real family member on personal matters, perhaps because they feel like they won't be judged for it.
All three of us in the studio just shook our heads. We're struggling with this one. And obviously there are concerns, particularly I have a teenager. It's terrifying to me. The researchers are pretty worried too.
Right. Well, so companions, these AI companions, they do draw teenagers to look, at this stage, I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this if you have a teenager at home. This is the time where you don't want to be rejected. You don't want to feel ridiculed. You fear that. You can remember those times in your life. I think the older we get, the more comfortable in our own skin that we get. But during these formative years, they feel like this is a good opportunity and good way for them to do that. But again, what about the proficiencies that we learn during these years about forming these genuine connections with real people? And these are just such formative years. So we did talk to a professor of psychiatry about all of it, and she said that adolescence is a really important time, that they're developing these social skills and their attachment abilities, and AI doesn't present an opportunity for learning either of those things because they're not real, right? So then what happens? We even think about during COVID, a lot of kids lost social skills during those formative years, and this is just sort of adding insult to injury if you look at it from that view. But there are some positives too. I mean, you think about the fact that some people really are lonely. I mean, it's become an epidemic, some would say, in this country, loneliness. And so you've got this AI chatbot that's always there, and you can make them into your own liking very often.
Anna, I appreciate your time. I wish we had more of it. Anna Koyman, the anchor of News Nation Live Weekends. Thank you very much. All right, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, you get to pick your poison. 7 Mile backup on I-5 or 7 Mile backup on 405. Either way, it's ugly out of Snow Hill. We'll break it down for you next.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
I bet every one of us knows someone affected by cancer. But how many of us know a child with cancer? I got news for you. Cancer doesn't discriminate. Hey, it's G. Scott. We're lucky to have Seattle Children's Hospital leading the charge in pediatric cancer research with a revolutionary treatment called immunotherapy. It's a game changer, reprogramming a child's own T cells to find and destroy cancer cells. That means fewer harsh side effects from chemo or radiation and more hope. But here's the hard truth. Pediatric cancer research is severely underfunded. That's why I'm asking you to help. This July, join me and Safeway by donating at checkout. Become an immunohero. Your donation fuels life-saving research and gives families something priceless. More time, more options, more hope. It's easy. Next time you're at Safeway, just say yes to donate. Together, we can fight cancer for all kid kind. Thank you for being an immunohero.
America's favorite car show is back. It's the Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals presented by Wicked Fabrication. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 of the Northwest's finest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Shop the Fender Midway. A free family fun zone, great live music, Saturday night twilight cruising, and so much more. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
It's 7:43. That's time to get back to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. Here's Sully.
And we are actually worse on 405 today than we are on I-5. So the alternate to getting through what we've been dealing with is now worse.
And here you were saying it was the same thing day after day after day. See, it's different now.
Yeah, it is a little different, but it's still bad. There aren't many options coming out of Snohomish County, but right now we have about an 8-mile backup on southbound 405 from basically right at Mill Creek all the way down to 160th, which is south of Bothell. And it's an hour and 45-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue. An hour and 15 of that is from Linwood. Maybe almost an hour and 20 of that is from Linwood. You compare that to I-5, and it's not bad through Linwood or Mount Lake Terrace. It's really right there at about 175th and Shoreline where you start hitting the brakes, and the backup extends down to about the U District, and it's actually a little faster. I mean, it's an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle, an hour and 10 from from Linwood to Seattle. So I-5 is a little faster than 405, but 99's not really an option. Lake City Way, not really an option. So no matter where you go, it's going to be pretty rough out of Snohomish County. We still have a 6-mile backup and a 20-minute delay on northbound I-5 from Fife up past 320th. Stalled box truck blocking 2 right lanes. 40 minutes to get you to Federal Way, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running 50 minutes. Valley Freeway, 50 from end to end. Rented to Bellevue, about 45. The lake bridges are starting to warm up a little bit westbound, and we still working with this stalled out disabled semi on eastbound 512, halfway down the hill toward Meridian. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, it's going to be a really nice afternoon. You might see some clouds this morning. They'll burn off for the most part, at least partly sunny. 77 for the afternoon. And then much cooler tomorrow. We might even see a little light drizzle at times. Staying mostly cloudy with a high tomorrow of 70, but rebounding for the weekend. Mix of clouds and sun on Saturday and on Sunday. 72 Saturday, a little bit warmer on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, we have partly sunny skies. It's 58. And it's time to check in with KIRO News Radio Scott Carty in for Katrina.
Well, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park, apparently want to kind of stir the pot
They've
a little bit.
outdone themselves.
Yeah, they went after it.
Yet again. The season 27 premiere, that's right, season 27 of South Park debuted last night, and they took some swings at the parent company of the network that airs their fine show, and they also took some swings at President Donald Trump. The theme of it was the ending of wokeness, and there's a Trump character suing residents of South Park for $5 billion because they are protesting Jesus appearing in local schools.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, this sounds exactly what Trey and Matt would do. And there's a quote said, "I didn't want to come back and be in the school, but I had to because it was part of a lawsuit in the agreement with Paramount." Now, Paramount is the parent company of Comedy Central.
Yes.
Which is where you can see this latest episode of South Park.
And have you already seen it, Sully?
I saw our good friend Charlie Harger, while on his road trip to Cooperstown, sent me something. Donald Trump has now taken over the Saddam Hussein character.
Oh, my goodness.
In the past, with the half face, and it's the same voice of Saddam. Like, hey, guy, come on, guy.
You do that pretty well.
I've watched it a lot. So it's, taking more than a few swings at the president. I want to watch the whole episode, but
that's what they do.
Yeah, they're stirring it.
I have 3 words for you. I'm getting him.
Okay, thank you. It's 7:47, and coming up, the latest reaction from the White House surrounding reports that President Trump's name is listed in the Epstein files. We're going to hear from CBS reporter Stacey Lynn here on Seattle's Morning News.
Summer is fast approaching, and it's a great time to get ready for the busy season with help from WaFd Bank.
That's right, Dave. And WaFd Bank offers Collect Early to do it, which opens cash flow for things you need, like hiring summer staff or adding inventory. Collect Early helps you get your invoices paid in hours, not weeks. You'll also get access to other services to efficiently run your business, like projection programs for income and expenses, so you can focus on what really powers your business, your customers.
That sounds like a pretty helpful tool, Brad, because cash flow can be an issue for small businesses. So how does that work again?
With Collect Early, you don't wait weeks to get your invoices paid. It works with just about any invoicing software. So all you need to do is drag and drop to get funds deposited in your WaFd account and use it to help run your business.
Getting paid in hours, not weeks, the way nature intended. Go to wafdbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why they were awarded Best Bank 3 years in a row. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. It's now 7:50. The White House is pushing back against reporting by the Wall Street Journal that Attorney General Pam Bondi informed President Trump in May that his name appears within the files under review regarding Jeffrey Epstein. Let's go to CBS correspondent Stacey Lynn with us. Stacey, good morning. Bring us up to speed.
Yeah, a few very substantial developments coming out yesterday. You mentioned the Wall Street Journal reporting that the DOJ told President Trump in May that his name may be in the Epstein files. Not clear, though, what those documents were or what context his name was raised in. And it's very, very important to note this is not a suggestion or implication that he did anything wrong. This was apparently discussed at a meeting at the White House during a very routine briefing that covered a bunch of topics. The Epstein case apparently wasn't the prime focus of this briefing, but it did come up apparently from the Department of Justice. This is also back when they told the president that senior Justice Department officials didn't plan to release any more documents related to the investigation because they said the material contained child pornography and victims' personal information. And that's when Mr. Trump said at that meeting he would defer to the Justice Department's decision to not release any further files. So there's a lot of back and forth, though, and discrepancies, because when reporters asked the president last week if, in fact, his Attorney General Pam Bondi told him he was in the files back in May, he responded no. So again, this doesn't implicate him in any way. It doesn't say he did anything wrong. It just says he's in there and they told him that. And with all the push to move on and not release anything else, many are speculating. They're saying, well, wait, if there's nothing in there, why don't they just release these files and then this thing can move on and be over with?
The other big part of this story today is the subpoenas from the House Oversight Committee. Can you spell that out for us?
Yeah, moving on is something that a lot of people want to happen, but it's not going to happen. The House panel, which is bipartisan, by the way, so you have people on both sides. You have Democrats and Republicans included. They voted to subpoena the Justice Department for these files. This, though, is going to go on for at least several more months because the House is now on their summer break for the next 5 weeks. And if that wasn't enough, Manda, yesterday, a federal judge in Florida also denied the Justice Department's request to unseal some grand jury transcripts from this investigation as well. This is one of multiple grand juries that's involved in this case, and there are additional requests out in different states as well. But the judge there said in her ruling that because the DOJ had requested this evidence that was sealed to be released due to extensive public interest and not as part of a judicial proceeding, that's what the standard wording would be in such cases to get things like this released or even to be considered to be released, this judge says can't do it and her hands are tied.
We appreciate the update, Stacey. Thank you so much. CBS correspondent Stacey Lynn, you have a great day, too. 7:53 now, and that's time to check the roads. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Sully is at the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk.
And we have flipped the script coming down out of Snohomish County. A lot of people thought 405 would be the panacea.
I don't think anyone thought that.
Okay, well, I don't know. It is. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to say the same thing 4 days in a row. But yeah, it's just rough. 405 is worse than I-5 by about 10 or 15 minutes now. If you hit the brakes basically right at the end of the Mukilteo Speedway, right there at I-5, you have about an 8-mile backup all the way to about 160th. That's where you would get off at Juanita. It's an hour and 20-minute trip just from Linwood to Bellevue, hour and 40 all the way from Everett. So it's going to be about 30 minutes behind schedule minimum. I-5, you don't hit the brakes till you get to about 175th. So that's not bad compared to the last 3 days. But we do have an hour and 5-minute trip from Linwood, which is about 25 minutes slower than you might need. And then also up in that same general area going northbound on I-5, we've got a crash just after 128th, and we're backing up from Mill Creek. So it's pretty ugly in Snohomish County and getting away from there. Some positive news for you, those of you stuck in the 6-mile backup on northbound I-5 from Fife to 18. The stalled Bucks truck out of the way at 320. It's still 40 minutes to get you to Federal Way, and then Federal Way to Seattle's 50. Valley Freeway running right around 50, 45 from Renton Johnson to Bellevue, and we're still dealing with slowing down the South Hill for a stalled semi. This traffic report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Get lower home energy bills, cleaner air, year-round comfort with AeroSeal duct sealing starting just $99 for PSE customers replacing their furnace or heat pump. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
It'll be at least partly sunny by afternoon, warming up to 77 today. A little cooler tomorrow, so we'll stay mostly cloudy and 70. It's 58 in Seattle right now. Another violent stabbing in Seattle. We'll get the details from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Is leaking in rocks, and when your mold is creeping in, water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Subaru of Puyallup is known for making your car buying experience stress-free no matter what. Olivia here from Subaru of Puyallup. We've provided stress-free sales and service through storms, supply hiccups, even a pandemic. You can count on a stress-free experience no matter what's around the corner. Right now, we have over 300 brand new Subaru vehicles on the lot with stress-free pricing plus excellent stress-free trade-in values. Come in and secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru of Puyallup.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
So why don't you speed? I've had one too many close calls on the road, and then I learned the facts.
It's dangerous to drive too fast.
It's true. 1 in 3 fatal crashes involve speeding.
Most people try to be safe, but speeding is dangerous.
You know, the faster you go, the longer it takes to stop.
The faster you drive, the harder you'd hit someone. Slower speeds save lives.
Please drive the speed limit so everyone is safe. Learn more at togetherwegetthere.com.
Want to see the Seahawks take on the Raiders at the preseason home opener August 7th? KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets. Just listen to Seattle's morning news all week from 6 to 9 for the daily code word. Then open the KIRO Radio News app, tap the Win tab, and enter. You can enter once a day from July 23rd through 28th to boost your chances. Full details at mynorthwest.com/win. We'll see you at the game.
This week, 4-time Grammy winner and jazz legend Stanley Clarke returns to Jazz Alley, July 24th through 27th. 6 shows of pure bass brilliance, electric, acoustic, and unforgettable. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The Justice Department's number 2 man is set to meet today with Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says it comes amid the Wall Street Journal report that President Trump was told by his attorney general in May that his name was in the Epstein files.
No reason to believe the president did anything wrong. What it does do is draw him closer or reiterate his ties to this situation as it becomes this bipartisan concern and focus. It was a House Oversight Subcommittee asking for everything the Justice Department has, and then going further to subpoena attorneys general and other officials that were either involved in the Epstein investigations dating back to the Bush administration or some other key figures who are close to Epstein or were once close to Epstein.
CBS's Charlie D'Agata has new information on the March chat message about U.S. attack plans in Yemen that were sent to a reporter.
The Pentagon's Inspector General launched an inquiry, and we've now learned that the attack plans had initially been shared over a classified email and over a classified internal system by U.S. Central Command Commander Eric Kurilla. Pentagon Chief Spokesman Sean Parnell said in a statement, the department stands behind its previous statements. No classified information was shared via signal.
There's word the Department of Homeland Security headquarters, several of its agencies, and the Department of Health and Human Services have been hacked as part of a wider breach of Microsoft SharePoint. Across much of the Midwest and South, more than 130 million people are trapped under an intense heat dome. CBS's Lana Zach.
Farmers like Will Cannon have no choice but to be outdoors.
The crazy part is just when it gets so humid that, you're sweating and the sweat won't even evaporate because there's so much humidity in the air.
Those crops are affecting the weather as well by supercharging humidity levels. We asked Iowa's state climatologist Justin Glisson about the process known as corn sweat.
There are pores on the bottom side of the leaves, and that's where oxygen is released, but also water vapor.
Sleep apnea? There may be a pill for that soon, as we hear from CBS's Michael Wallace.
The drug maker Apnimed says its phase 3 clinical trials of its new pill called AD109 were successful. The trial involved hundreds of people who refused to use CPAP machines. The pill tells your brain to keep your airway muscles activated while you sleep, allowing you to breathe better. Researcher Dylan Petkus is a sleep apnea expert.
This might be the biggest medical update for the treatment of sleep apnea ever since they decided that a CPAP was a little bit better than cutting a hole in your throat.
Apnimed plans to share its full trial results this fall.
Wall Street, the Dow is up 100 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
It's 8:03, Seattle's Morning News. So let's get back to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. Here's Sully.
And the alternate is worse than the primary. That's what we have coming out of Snohomish County. Now, everyone is thinking, okay, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to get away from I-5, so I'll take 405. Yeah, unfortunately, there's just not the capacity there. I mean, we have a 7-mile backup, almost 8 miles now, from Linwood all the way down to 160th, and now almost extending through Totem Lake as everyone's trying to bail and figure it out. And we've got an hour and 20-minute trip just from Linwood to Bellevue. That's about a 35-minute delay, hour and 40 all the way from Everett to Bellevue. Everett to Seattle's about an hour and 20, and it's only an hour and 5 from Linwood. In fact, you don't hit the brakes till you're down to about 175th. So it's better out of Snohomish County on I-5 than it is on 405. And better is in quotation marks. Northbound I-5, we're still dealing with a crash just north of 128th, and we're backed up from the Linwood split going north into Everett. Seeing the backup get a little bit better northbound for I-5 from Fife up to Federal Way now that the box truck's out of the way. Still 30 minutes to get you to Federal Way, and then a 50-minute trip Federal Way to Seattle. Renton to Bellevue, 45, a matching 45 from Puyallup to Renton. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Good morning, it's 8:04. You are with Seattle's Morning News. Charlie Harger has the week off. I'm Manda Factor. Just one day after we told you about an increase in knife-related assaults in Seattle, there's been another stabbing. This time a woman at a bus stop was stabbed in the cheek. We get the latest live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, police say that 43-year-old woman had just stepped off a bus late last night, got into some sort of argument with the suspect, and he stabbed her in her face. Yesterday, SPD Detective Brian Pritchard told our James Lynch yes, there have been more and more stabbings.
We don't have any indication that it's people that are unhoused or anything like that. Like I said, usually during the summer months, assaults do go up, and right now there's tend to be more stabbings.
This latest attack happened on North 105th Street and Aurora Avenue. Police say the 34-year-old suspect took off down an alley, but they arrested him a couple of blocks away. The victim was treated at Harborview Medical Center. Well, since April, police say there have been 20 knife-related assaults on Seattle streets, some of them fatal. SPD says it is the summer months that they have to worry about. That's when violent crimes tend to increase. They're also saying this, Manda, that they've been aggressively trying to get rid of illegal guns, get them off the street. So they say bad guys are appearing to grab knives instead.
All right. Thank you, Luke. Early this morning, a fire broke out in Seattle's Central District, causing several buildings to be evacuated. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is on the scene at 20th and East Marion.
Firefighters are still out here dealing with this, but this was a fire in a building under construction. Now, the reason this got escalated to several alarms is because that building that was on fire, the fire spread to 7 buildings around it, forced the fire department to evacuate all those buildings.
Seattle Fire says one of their firefighters is being treated for minor injuries, and no residents were injured. In Bothell yesterday, fire crews called in the Department of Natural Resources for aerial help. A tree fell, hit a power line, and as KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglovin tells us,
that power line sparking a brush fire in the woods off 43rd Avenue Southeast. That's right behind North Creek High School. Those lines were de-energized, and DNR was called in to drop buckets of water on the flames.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
Well, good Thursday morning to you, Friday Eve. It's 8:07. Charlie Harger is out for the rest of the week. I'm Manda Factor. Sully's here checking on the roads, trying to come up with new ways to explain the mess every 10 minutes.
Got an airplane?
I wish.
Jetpack?
Nope. Producer David Burbank is here. Scott Carty's in for Katrina, and Nick Kreisha is in the control room running the board. Well, Sully, you have a choke point coming up with some big changes to the Valley Freeway, right?
Yeah, big changes. After 18 years of being told one way, we're upgrading the system, and that means a lot of things to learn to come up that Valley Freeway now.
Stay with us for that. Also in today's Tech Talk, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey looks into the recent cyber attack involving Microsoft SharePoint. And I knew G. Scott would have a few things to say about this trend we've been talking about, teenagers using AI for friendship. G will stop by in a bit. It's now 8:08. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has once again blocked President Trump's push to end birthright citizenship, an effort led by Washington Attorney General Nick Brown, who spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
The effort that Washington led way back in January is having a nationwide effect. So the president's executive order is deemed unconstitutional and it stayed all across the country right now.
The 14th Amendment guarantees citizenship to anyone born in this country. The judge says the order contradicts the plain language of the Constitution. The ruling temporarily stops the order from taking effect nationwide.
Well, I think principally it's a reflection that everyone across the country will have people that will be impacted by the executive order. Every state has people that will have their citizenship redefined by the president's illegal executive order. And the reason that so many states joined the effort that we led is because we know that what the president did was not only illegal, but it was un-American.
This was the first case Nick Brown brought forth as Washington's Attorney General. A search on the Duwamish River came up empty last night. Someone apparently called 911 after seeing a person struggling in the water near East Marginal Way in Tukwila. Puget Sound Fire says crews rushed in with inflatable kayaks. KIRO 7 TV reports the King County Sheriff's Office also sent a helicopter to help from above. They searched for about 90 minutes but didn't find anyone. No word yet who the person was or if they made it out. It was breaking news this time yesterday. We told you about a sinking houseboat near Gasworks Park. Seattle Fire responded to stabilize the floating home and place booms to prevent any pollution. No one was hurt. KIRO 7 spoke with a resident from a nearby marina. David Pleasant says he has safety top of mind.
When I am on my boat and I'm asleep, I sleep in the forward berth. There's a hatch I can climb out, and I always think, okay, do I at least have 2 exits to get out of here?
The Coast Guard and Department of Ecology are investigating the cause of that situation. It's now 8:10. In a little over a week, the Navy's Blue Angels will fly into town, a Seattle Seafair tradition, of course. But some local climate activists are putting their feet down, wanting the jets to come down too, citing noise pollution and PTSD. One of the activists leading the charge, a former pilot himself, spoke with KIRO 7.
As an Air Force flight surgeon, I flew upside down in the F-16. It's a lot of fun. That's not why the airplanes are built. They are built to drop bombs to kill people and to kill things. And when they fly over, it reminds people who are war refugees and veterans, that's how it was, and they don't like that memory.
The group expressing their view in more ways than one, even putting up an anti-Blue Angel Show billboard in the Rainier Valley neighborhood. If you've ever taken light rail to SeaTac Airport, you may feel the worst part of that approach is the walk. It's a pretty good hike from the light rail station to the terminal, made tougher when you have luggage. Well, now SeaTac Airport is announcing a pilot program to test a new driverless shuttle for travelers. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
During the testing phase, an engineer will ride along in the shuttle cart just to monitor everything. And right now they are mapping out the space to get it ready for those test runs.
Well, it was a beautiful day down at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center in Renton yesterday, where the Seahawks held their first day of open training camp. Second-year head coach Mike McDonald has high expectations.
Our expectations can't be any higher than what we expect from ourselves. I mean, bring it on, we want to win the championship. But in order to do that, we have to become a championship team. We have to become the team that we're trying to be. We have a vision for our team of who we want to be, and we believe that vision is a team that the 12s are going to be really proud of. But it takes time. We got to put it together. We got to do all the work. We got to do all the meetings. We got to do all the reps. We got to make those tough decisions. I mean, there's so many things that need to happen between now and when we kick it off. But that's why just every day is so critical. You can't skip steps.
Yesterday's camp was open for season ticket holders only. Tomorrow's practice will be open to the public. The team prepares for preseason Game 1 against the Pete Carroll-coached Las Vegas Raiders August 7th. That game is going to be played at Lumen Field, and we want to send you and 3 friends to watch that game with the Raiders in person. What you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab, and enter the code word ENDZONE. If you don't have the app, it's simple. Just text app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link so you can download. Listen daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, July 28th. Good luck to you. It's 8:12, and that's time for a check on the weather. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Here's KIRO 7's Nick Allard.
A lot of cloud cover settling in over Seattle to start the day, but I fully expect to see sunshine increasing for the second part of the day. It really should be a nice day. Expect to find upper 70s, but cloudy conditions in the 50s right now, and then we'll look for some, say, 77-degree temperatures in Seattle, Everett. More like 78 in Tacoma, Chehalis, Olympia, about 77, and 60s for the coast, where it will be tough to clear. Tomorrow, we're all going to see low clouds and drizzle and even some mist potentially, and then late day sun breaks, but late day sun breaks only. And we'll be about 68 to 70 with some increasing sunshine on Torchlight Saturday. In fact, we should get to 72, and it'll be sunny by the parade with upper 70s Sunday and low 80s to start next week.
Right now, it's partly sunny and 58 in Seattle. And at 8:13, time to get back to Chris Sullivan. He's at the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk.
And it's about what you would expect if you've traveled down to Seattle or Bellevue the last couple of mornings. With the closure of the southbound I-5 express lanes, we are seeing a really heavy backup on I-5, but the worst drive is actually 405. 405 is backed up from Linwood all the way down through Totem Lake now, well over 8 miles worth of a backup. It's an hour, getting close to an hour and a half just from Linwood down into Bellevue, which is a 30-minute delay or more, 35, 40-minute delay, if you can think about it. And, people are paying $15 in the express toll lane and not moving any faster, at least through that section down through Bothell, where there's only one ETL. So it's ugly on 405. Now, I-5, you're going to get on at Linwood and be like, oh, man, this is great. Mount Lake Terrace, this is great. And then you go to 175th and you hit a wall, and you're on it all the way down through the U District. So it's about an hour and 10 minutes from Linwood, hour and 25 all the way from Everett. So a little bit better than the last 2 days, but still just blah, as Nick would say. Also up in that same area, we've been dealing with a crash in the right lane of northbound I-5 at 128th, so we're losing 20 minutes from Linwood trying to get up into Everett, so that's just adding salt to the wound. Northbound I-5 doesn't look too bad through the Federal Way area, and then it's about 50 minutes to make the drive from Federal Way to Seattle. Renton to Bellevue is about 45. The Valley Freeway is only 45. Olympia to Tacoma is fine. The Lake Bridges, I-90 is definitely seeing some brake lights through the Mount Baker Tunnel over to I-5, but, it's manageable. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
All right, producer David, I think after the show, you should provide commentary of your journey because you have to go from where to where.
Yeah, so it's actually really rude. I have to first get back up to Linwood, and then I have to go down to Kirkland to get to the Evergreen Pediatrics. And I'm looking at 405. It looks like there's some crazy detours that I could take that are supposedly about 7 minutes less time, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Going through those neighborhoods you've never been in. Running across road closures.
You could also just go to Magnuson Park and swim across, right?
That's true. Yeah. That's a really good point. I could. I don't know if my 6-month-old could do that quite yet. She hasn't taken her lessons.
All right. Well, good luck. Let us know how long it takes. It's 8:15 and time to get to KIRO News Radio. Scott Carty.
Well, Amanda, today I'm probably going to use fewer or less paper towels. Yeah. The Global Footprint Network is marking Earth Overshoot Day today. In other words, today is the estimated date for 2025 when humanity has already spent more resources than the planet can regenerate in a single year.
And the year's only half over. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Founder Mattis Vakarnokel is the network's founder.
Earth Overshoot Day is a simple concept. It recognizes that from January 1st till today, 24th of July, humanity has used as much from nature as the planet is able to renew and regenerate in the entire year.
So it's going to have me thinking about my use today.
That's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing.
Right?
No.
Thinking. Yeah, thinking is good.
Thinking is good. The thinking part is good, yes, not the others.
Thank you, Scott. It's 8:16.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Sure, let's throw another traffic challenge your way. Time to unlearn 18 years of driving on northbound 167. We are not too far away from a major change in the hot lane and tolling system from Sumner to Renton, and Sully's here to tell us about it.
Yep, it's going to be loads of fun coming up the Valley Freeway. Well, it might be because maybe now...
We need to stop calling these things fun.
Well, it's possible because now all the cheaters will have to get out of that lane or pay, so maybe it might be faster. But we'll get to that in a minute because the cameras have gone up, the signs have gone up, striping's going to happen soon. Life as you know it on the Valley Freeway is changing in a significant way. The high occupancy toll lane, the hot lane from Auburn to Renton, is becoming an express toll lane to match the existing toll lanes on 405 between Bellevue and Linwood, and then eventually from Bellevue down to Renton. The toll division's Lauren McLaughlin says the system is being upgraded to match all the other roads.
We're modernizing the system and replacing equipment that's been in use there for about 18 years, and we're bringing it all up to the same standards we have with all our other toll roads.
But that means significant changes for those who want to use that lane and for how they can use it for free, because up to now, only solo drivers needed to have a pass to pay their way into the hot lane. People who were carpooling 2+, they didn't need a pass. They just would go in there, and people who didn't have the HOV requirement would go in there anyway, honor system. But now you're going to have to declare whether you are HOV and free or not to be tolled.
You'll still be able to carpool toll free. You just have to have a flex pass set to HOV mode to do so. And that'll tell the system, hey, I've got my buddies with me. We're carpooling. Don't charge me a toll.
The Flex Pass costs about $15 plus tax. It's the same pass that drivers have been using on 405 since it opened. If you're in a toll lane after this transition without a Flex Pass, you will be charged the toll, whether you have the proper amount of people in the lane to qualify as an HOV. Drivers without that pass will be charged the toll plus $2 for pay by mail. This should eliminate all the rampant cheating on 167 that it has seen since its inception. Again, because there's no pass to declare whether you're HOV or not. You only had the pass to say the good guys who were like, okay, I'm a solo, I'm paying for free. Everyone else just blew it off. You can't do that anymore. So you're also going to pay for how long that you're in the lane, because the new signs show segments on the highway. So the signs will have toll amounts for 3 different destinations. But McLaughlin says,
you're still only paying that one toll, but now you're paying for the amount of road you use, and you lock in the rate you see when you enter the lane there.
So say you're getting in the ETL in Puyallup, but you're only going up to Auburn. you would pay whatever it says to get off at Auburn. There'll be another one to say maybe get off at Willis, and maybe one to go all the way to Renton. But you only pay that one toll when you enter. You don't pay all three. I know a lot of people had those questions and have learned how it works now on 405 because we've been doing that for so long. You're also going to have limited options for getting in and out of the express toll lane.
For most of the roadway, you're going to see those double white lines that are legal to cross, and then a certain entry and exit points that have a dashed line there to tell drivers, hey, this is where you get in, this is where you get out.
Now, Lauren spoke a little fast there. It may have sounded like it's legal to cross. It's illegal to cross the double white line.
I have what's the downside of having more areas to enter and exit kind of in between the scanners?
Well, what it does is that it allows people to kind of stay in there for a longer amount of time and be dedicated. Like right now, you can just go in, out, in, out, in, out to try to pass cars. This kind of keeps you in that lane and prevents, merging that you might have to do. But again, that's only if people follow the rules and don't cross the double white line, which of course happens all the time on 405, and it's incredibly dangerous. I always get questions about motorcycles.
They will actually need to get a motorcycle pass. So there's a special pass for motorcycles that they will need to carpool toll-free in the SR 167 express toll lanes. They're changing names now that it is upgrading system to keep it consistent with 405.
All right. The state hasn't released the exact day that this is going to happen. We know it's happening sometime in the fall. We're going to get a little bit better information on that as we go. There's going to be a big ad campaign, a lot of information. You can find all that past information and other things about this at mynorthwest.com. I got a bunch of links going up there. And so this is going to be a significant change, especially people who have never had to have any pass or think about it because they're always carpooling with somebody or they've got family members in the car or whatever. And it's also going to change from 2+ to 3+ during peak hours of the day, like 405 does as well. So you might need to find another buddy, or you may have to pay. So it's a change.
I'm looking at the text line. John in Lake Tapps is asking, what happens to the Good to Go pass that you had?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Like if you had the sticker pass.
Mm-hmm. This is different than the flex
pass. You have to get rid of that sticker pass and put in a flex pass. But this is all good to go.
Right.
This is all part of good to go. So if you already have a flex pass from 405, this will work on 167. But if you just have a sticker pass, you're going to have to get a flex pass.
And you need one for each car that you drive.
That is correct. And it's but this is all part of good to go. It's not like a new system. This is all good to go. So if you're set up and you have a flex pass, you should be fine. If not, you have to buy one.
If you have the sticker pass, that essentially doesn't work at all, even if you are going through and you intend to pay the toll and you just don't want to have the $2 surcharge.
Correct.
Okay.
You're going to have to update your system and upgrade your good to go account to show that. And again, it's a change. And these are all great questions. I mean, because you guys have never had to deal with this down in the valley. Those of us who drive 405 all the time have been through this. But keep those questions coming. I'll answer them if I don't get to them yet. Just keep hammering with me. And this isn't the last we're going to talk about this. Again, this is a big change, trying to get way ahead of this so we can people can get started and get ready for it.
Go ahead, flip your screen right now and put on your current traffic reporter hat. A reminder, you can find all this past information and other key points at mynorthwest.com. At the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, Sully, what's happening?
With my magic wizard hat, with my... I'm like the winter warlock. Here comes Santa
now
Claus.
That you have the white beard.
I look like, my wand doesn't work anymore. All I have is a few magic beans and some magic seed corn.
But you can do it.
They can make reindeers fly, but that's all I have.
Tell us about the mess on the roads.
Okay, so we have 405 being worse than I-5 today, coming down out of Linwood, and they're both terrible. Again, this is all because of the closure of the express lanes in the southbound direction there in the Northgate area. So we have about an 8-mile backup on southbound 405 from Linwood down through Totem Lake, and it's going to be about an hour and 40-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue, with an hour and 20 of that alone just from Linwood. So that's way behind schedule, at least 30 minutes worth of a delay through there. Once you're south of Totem Lake, it does thin out. I-5, though, much better. I mean, we are hitting the brakes around 175th now, not as far as Mount Lake Terrace, but again, it's a grind all the way down to the U District. About an hour and 10 minutes now, again, from Linwood to Seattle, so not great. The rest of the map is about average. I mean, you're looking at Puyallup to Renton at about 45 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, a matching 45, really active in the S-curves. I-5, Federal Way to Seattle's only running around 50. The heaviest part there, obviously, from the middle of Boeing Field on into downtown. The Lake Bridges are okay, about 25 minutes from end to end. We do have this crash that's still blocking the right lane in South Everett at 128. So if you're going northbound from Linwood, you're backed up there. That's about a 20-minute delay to try to get through this into Everett. So it's a day to forget. Hopefully tomorrow will be better, but we still have work to do today. This traffic report is brought to you by Kia of Everett. Over 400 tariff-free Kias now available at Kia of Everett with easy lease and financing options. Experience simple, easy, and fun at Kia of Everett today.
It's going to be a nice afternoon. We'll warm up to about 77 with at least partly sunny skies today. Much cooler tomorrow. We're going to stay mostly cloudy. Might even see some light drizzle at times and a high of 70. Right now, it's 58 in Seattle. And coming up on Seattle's Morning News, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more on the new documents released overnight surrounding the case of Brian Kohberger. He'll also have Tech Talk for us, looking into how Microsoft SharePoint was hacked. That's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by WaFd Bank.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Manda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Manda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News, weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO News Radio app.
Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp, owner of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Dr. Sharp, I am amazed at the brightness and the clarity that I didn't even realize I'd lost before I had my procedure. How's that even possible?
A lot of people don't realize that. As you get older, the lens not only is less flexible, but it gets less transparent. And gradually, even in our 40s, 50s, 60s, the lens variety does get less transparent. So you get more glare at night, more halos, loss of contrast sensitivity, loss of some color vision or decreased color vision.
What I was seeing.
And so when we replace that lens that gets cloudier and cloudier with a crystal clear lens, all of the light gets through, all of the clarity, all the brightness, all the colors. And again, with the multifocal lenses that we have, it's sort of like a bifocal built in, so you can see near and far.
Give the folks at Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens a call at 425-451-2020 or online at sharp-vision.com. Sharp with an E-vision.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
G. Scott here to talk about Sunbucks, a SNAP program that provides free, healthy food when school is out. If you could use the help, simply fill out the form online to determine eligibility for $120 of free food per child. If families had cards last year, they have been replenished. If families need new cards, they can call the Sunbucks call center. This message is presented by Safeway, where customers can use SNAP to save on produce and shop online. Visit hungerfreewa.org/summer EBT.
Get ready to rock the boat with Yachtly Crew at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. Sing along to classic yacht rock hits and dance under the lights on Saturday, August 2nd. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. Don't miss Yachtly Crew at the Rivers Run Event Center. Tickets start at $59. Get yours at the Players Club or online at angelofthewinds.com. That's angelofthewinds.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more.
Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Subaru of Puyallup is known for making your car buying experience stress-free no matter what. Olivia here from Subaru of Puyallup. We've provided stress-free sales and service through storms, supply hiccups, even a pandemic. You can count on a stress-free experience no matter what's around the corner. Right now, we have over 300 brand new Subaru vehicles on the lot with stress-free pricing plus excellent stress-free trade-in values. Come in and secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru of Puyallup.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25. New customers only. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Get lower home energy bills, cleaner air, and year-round comfort with AeroSeal duct sealing, starting at just $99 for PSE customers replacing their furnace or heat pump. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:31. New information released in the Brian Kohberger case is painting a chilling picture about Kohberger and the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. We get the latest live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Chilling is the right word here. These newly released documents say one of the victims, Kaylee Gonsalves, had reported at the time before the murders, of course, that a strange man, a potential stalker, was spotted outside her house. She also reported a strange man was following her in a grocery store. And that's just one of several reports. Police also saying that they talked with a woman who met Kohberger on Tinder. She said Kohberger talked with her about horror movies and then asked her at one point, what would be the worst way to die? She said, a knife. Kohberger asked, like a K-bar? She got uncomfortable and stopped talking with Kohberger, according to police. And police say Kohberger, of course, used a K-bar knife to kill his victims. Well, yesterday, about a dozen friends and family members of victims read victim impact statements in court in Boise before sentencing. Kaylee's sister went after Kohberger.
You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic loser. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over.
And then moments later, Judge Stephen Hippler sentenced Kohberger to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Even in pleading guilty, he is giving nothing hinting of remorse or redemption, let alone regret for the pain that he has caused. And therefore, I will not attempt to speak about him further, other than to simply sentence him so that he is forever removed from civilized society.
Amanda, those just chilling details that are coming out here. But, you know, there's also this. Police shared that one of Kohberger's fellow inmates in jail described him as a, quote, weirdo. Another said he was intelligent but annoying, saying he would always constantly wash his hands. He wouldn't sleep at night. Instead, he'd nap during the day. And he never talked about the murders he committed.
Thanks for the update, Luke. The other big story we're following this morning, fire tore through part of Seattle's Central District. It started about 1:30 in the morning near 20th and East Marion. Seattle Fire says it started in a building under construction and spread to 7 others. That includes an apartment complex which had to be evacuated. Everyone did make it out safely. One firefighter was treated for minor injuries. No word yet what started it. It's 8:33, and that's time to check the roads once again. We do that every 10 minutes on the 3s. Chris Sullivan at the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk.
Well, we're getting much better in Pierce County and into South King County right now. That drive is not looking bad at all. So let's take the positives there. I mean, it's only 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton, and the Federal Way to the Federal Way to South Center drive is only about 20 minutes. So those are really positive. I'll get to the bad in a minute. All the way Federal Way to Seattle is still about an hour, still about 50 minutes because it's only 30 from the South Center area into downtown. And for a Thursday, that's about 20 minutes faster than normal because, again, the express lanes are facing northbound. Now, to the ripple effect of that is what we've been dealing with all week. We've got a backup that starts at about 175th Shoreline and continues all the way through the U District. It's an hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood, about an hour and 25 all the way from Everett to get you down into the Seattle area. So way behind schedule, but a little better than the last few days because everyone has gone to 405, and it's bumper to bumper from just after Linwood through Totem Lake, and it's an hour and 15 minutes on 405 from Linwood to Bellevue, an hour and a half all the way from Everett, so that's well behind as well. The lake bridges are doing okay, and Renton to Bellevue is hovering right around 45 minutes, so that's really not too bad. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, we're starting out with some clouds in spots, but partly to sunny by afternoon. For many of us, we'll see a lot of sunshine, 77 the high. For tomorrow, much cooler. We'll stay cloudy for the bulk of the day. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine in the afternoon, but also might see a little drizzle at times. 70 the high for tomorrow. Right now in Seattle, partly sunny and 58.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's now 8:35. In today's Tech Talk, you may have heard about the recent cyber attack involving Microsoft SharePoint. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains what it's all about.
Thousands of companies and organizations under threat of cyber attack. And no matter what they tried, there was no way to stop it.
Which makes this attack even scarier.
Because often the victims being targeted don't have the tools to stay safe.
It's not even just that they're exposed, but they don't even have the capability to deal with it.
Michael Sikorsky is the Chief Technology Officer and Head of Threat Intelligence for Unit 42 at Palo Alto Networks. He's been tracking a critical vulnerability being exploited by hackers in Microsoft's widely used SharePoint software in so-called on-prem servers, which are servers located on-site at a company's own data center or facility.
We're talking about schools impacted, hospitals, state and local government agencies.
According to well-known security firm iSecurity, 85 on-prem servers have been compromised, impacting 54 organizations that we know about. Microsoft sounded the alarm last Saturday, telling customers they were aware of the attacks but were still working to fix the issue.
That's the scary part to me, is they're almost like it's a helpless situation.
By exploiting the vulnerability in SharePoint, which is a platform that people use to create files and documents and also work on those documents together at the same time, bad guys were bypassing privacy and identity controls like multi-factor authentication to hack into a company's private SharePoint files. Once inside, they could steal data and set up secret backdoor access to steal data in the future. However, two aspects of this attack were red flags for security experts. The exploit was a zero-day exploit, meaning it was a total surprise, and Microsoft had 0 days to develop a patch.
And they were, exposed for days.
Also, according to the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, the exploit affecting SharePoint was a variant of another existing vulnerability which Microsoft fixed in previous updates. In this case, 2 SharePoint vulnerabilities were discovered in May during a hackathon contest. Microsoft issued patches for those bugs in July, but by then, other hackers exploited those bugs to find more vulnerabilities. The more bugs, the more fixes, the more fixes, the more hackers pay attention.
Attackers overall will take a look at that fix and figure out, well, why did that fix go out, and sort of reproduce the issue that was there. And so once they do that, it sort of becomes much more widespread.
Too often, for schools and government offices, extra security can be expensive and require IT staff and budget they may not have. Even with Microsoft's patches available, it can be a challenge to implement.
You're talking SharePoint. If you're going to patch that, now you need to take it down. That means your people are not going to get access to their files for some period of time. So you got to do it late at night, and you got to upgrade essentially. Well, if you don't have staff to do it, that leaves you as a sitting duck.
And chances are the damage is already done.
And one thing we've been telling them is you need to assume that you've been compromised at this point.
Manda, a couple of things here. As for the SharePoint issue, if you or your company use Microsoft Cloud instead of an on-prem server, you're safe. It's just the older technology that can cost a lot of money to upgrade.
Yeah.
When it comes to fixing vulnerabilities, though, I don't think a lot of people know how it works in tech. Really quickly, this is how it works. Most of the time, finding and fixing software vulnerabilities relies on a system known as responsible disclosure. It's a deal that companies make with finders of vulnerabilities. A person or a company, that's what they do for a living. And they inform tech companies like Microsoft, hey, we found this, you got to fix it. Microsoft says, okay, give us 90 days to fix it, and we'll do that. And then they do, and then they send an update to all of us and our computers. But after it's fixed, per the gentleman's agreement, the finder is then allowed to publish an article about it, explain, here's what we found, look how awesome we are. And then they collect oftentimes a bounty from a company like Microsoft. It's an ecosystem that works, but in this case, when it's a 0-day attack and it's a surprise, all of that gets thrown out the window.
Seems like the bad guys are always a step ahead, aren't they?
Always.
Luke, thank you. It's 8:39. Mr. Sullivan, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the slowing coming down out of Snohomish County. Deja vu, as we approach 8:43.
You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's Morning News every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show, and even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
It's 8:43. Time to get back to Chris Sullivan at the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk.
And we've settled into day 4 of what we've been expecting and what we've been experiencing out of Snohomish County at this point. Because of the closure of the express lanes southbound I-5, we have a backup that begins right at 175th and Shoreline, a little bit further south than we've had the last couple of days, but it goes all the way down to about the Ship Canal Bridge. And we've got an hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood, so well behind schedule there by about 20-25 minutes minimum. A lot of people went went to 405 today, and that's been the favorite. We've got a backup that begins just after Linwood and goes all the way down to about Totem Lake, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes just from Linwood on down. So plan on continued long delays out of Snohomish County. Up in that same general area, I forgot to mention it 10 minutes ago, but we do have a leftover crash on northbound I-5 getting into the Everett area. It's right by 128th, and we're backed up from about the Mill Creek exit. It's out of the way, it sounds like, but we're still losing about 15 minutes going northbound from Linwood into the South Everett area. The rest of the map, not too bad. I mean, we've got some brake lights again now past 288th coming up out of Federal Way, and about a 55-minute trip all the way to Seattle. Most of the brake lights there are from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Valley Freeway's really not too bad at all. I mean, it's running around 40 minutes, which is pretty decent. Renton to Bellevue is about 45 minutes as well. The Lake Bridges are hanging in there. 520 is actually wide open, which is great. Olympia to Tacoma's not too bad. 16 is fine. Even 18 up to Tiger Mountain is not too bad at all. And then down the hill towards I-90. Remember, tomorrow morning, if you're driving through Highway 18 and I-90, you've got that brand new diverging diamond interchange ready to roll.
Hold on, are you sharing good news?
Yes. That's tomorrow.
Awesome.
So the end of that 8-day construction project, and we should have a new interchange tomorrow morning. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company look good with logoed apparel, uniforms, and more. Visit suplinen.com.
Nice day weather-wise. It will be partly sunny by afternoon. 77 the high for today. Tomorrow, much cooler. We're going to stay cloudy, a high of 70, maybe a little bit of drizzle here and there, but then rebounding for the weekend. We've got the parade Saturday. Should be sunny and 72. Mix of clouds and sun for the weekend. A little bit warmer on Sunday, 76. Right now, partly sunny and 58 in Seattle. And time once again to check in with KIRO News Radio's Scott Carty.
I know we're still all trying to digest this, but when we talk about Felicity Huffman or Lori Loughlin, we all think about that Varsity Blues admissions scandal and the 2019 bust of a man named William Rick Singer. Now, he was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison and $10 million in restitution. And CNN reports that he got out a little early. So he's already out. He got out in March, and he's back to work, and he has a new job.
Great. Who hired him?
His sister, doing college admissions advising.
Okay.
So the guy who's already been convicted of the crime is now doing college admissions advising. There is a catch, though, that the judge is still supervising him and that he had to and has to continually list that he has been convicted of the crime and that he has taken full responsibility. That is posted on the website for his sister's company, ID Future Stars, and of course it's in the terms and conditions. So you've really got to dig to find it.
Good for him. Yeah. It's 8:46. Well, we told you this morning about this new survey that shows a lot of teenagers are turning to AI for friendship. Gee, Scott has a few thoughts on that, and he'll join us coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details, on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
It is 8:49. G. Scott from the G and Ursula show is here. We'll get to your topic in just a moment, but we're just getting word that wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71. According to TMZ Sports, he died at his home in Florida of cardiac arrest. G, good morning.
Good morning. Before we get into this, I don't know. In my family, and there's a lot of superstition, right? That happens. You step on a crack, you break your mama's back. You can't split the pole. You can't open up an umbrella in the house. You can't put the purse on the floor. I can do this all day, okay? One of the things, and I don't know if you all grew up with this as well, is that we would talk about how death comes in threes.
And this is 3
right?
today.
This is 3, right? Malcolm Jamal Warner was 1. Ozzy Osbourne was 2. And today, Hulk Hogan is 3. I know it was the other day in the newsroom after Ozzy Osbourne had passed, and we were talking about it comes in 3s. I'm like, oh boy, knock on wood, don't want that to happen. And then here we are with Hulk Hogan. Before we keep going, Sully, is Hulk Hogan the best heavyweight champion for WWF?
You know it, brother. The Hulkster doesn't lie, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in that era with him dominating WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. I loved it.
WrestleMania 3, when he body slammed Andre the Giant.
Yeah,
okay.
Best ever.
Before we get too off the rails here, we said you were going to talk about the fact that teenagers are turning to AI now for friendship.
That's right.
I thought you might have something to say.
Common Sense Media, which reveals that more teenagers, Manda, are using AI for companionship and friendship. This trend right now is starting to raise concern among some researchers who are worried about the implications of digital friendships on mental health and social development. So I understand that there should be concern, right? We talk about it all the time. We talk about not just kids, not just teens, but even adults. We lack conflict resolution skills these days. We aren't out there with our friends or coworkers just out and about. We're doing everything on Zoom, Teams, social media. That's how we are communicating. Sometimes people can be on social media and have 3,000-4,000 friends, air quotes, on social media, but in real life, you're really lonely. So, Manda, yes, this is a concern because more teens are actually turning to AI, asking AI questions and talking to them. And the more isolated that anyone gets, that is a concern. But the reason why I keep bringing up everyone is because I know this is specifically about teens. And while, yes, it's a concern, I think it's a concern, Manda, for all of us.
Everybody, sure.
All of us.
But you have to embrace it because the genie's out of the bottle. You just need to learn how to use it appropriately, right?
So I'm going to go back to some old school stuff.
I like old school.
That my father would always say. Oh, my goodness, he would say this. Tell me what you're doing after school. I want to know what you're doing from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Those 3 hours are what's going to shape a young man or a young lady just in life. he used to have this thing with me before I went to military school. I used to have to do some type of after school activity. Right? No, not going right home to homework. Sometimes kids, they get out of school and then some kids are forced to go right and do homework. No, you get some type of activity. And I think that if you're a parent or uncle or aunt, it's really imperative that we understand that those hours right after school are really important. They either getting in trouble or they're doing something constructive.
Yep.
Pick a choice. There is no just lounging around. So there's that.
Appreciate your time. Don't forget to tune into the G and Ursula show coming up at 9 o'clock. Right now, we need to check the roads. At 8:53, Sully is at the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk.
And 405 is once again much worse than I-5 today, even though both are terrible because of the closure of the southbound I-5 express lanes. But seems like everybody thought 405 was going to be the answer, and it wasn't the last 2 days, and it still isn't now. We are. I know, David, you have to get from Linwood down to 405 lanes.
You're never going to make
a better
it.
answer
So
for
bad.
you. I mean, man, I wish I had something for you, but it's an hour and 20 minutes from Linwood to Bellevue. That's a 30-minute delay, hour and a half, 40 minutes all the way from Everett. Everett to Seattle's at an hour and 25 with an hour and 10. Actually, 10 minutes faster from Linwood on down, but still pretty ugly. The rest of the map is manageable. I mean, Renton to Bellevue's running 45 minutes. The Valley Freeway behind that's only 40. Federal Way to Seattle is running 50. That's about 20 minutes faster than normal, even though you do hit the brakes at the north end of Boeing Field past I-90. Both lake bridges are still in very good shape. Looks like we've got construction now on westbound I-90 as you approach North Bend, so that's going to be with us today. So, yeah, all in all, it's going to be another rough day coming down from Snohomish County. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Upgrade your view with Lake Washington Windows. Buy one door or window. Get the second 50% off through July. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Partly sunny for the afternoon hours, 77 today. Coming up on the G and Ursula show, the guy who coined the iconic phrase, booty call. Comedian and actor Bill Bellamy is going to join them here on KIRO News Radio.
Motorcycle accident cases require a thorough investigation by a team of experienced legal professionals if they have any chance of being successful. Insurance companies, juries, and even the police tend to assume the worst about motorcycle riders. Get help from an experienced team of attorneys that have successfully resolved hundreds of motorcycle accident cases over the past 30 years. Call Davis Law Group for a free legal consultation or get my free book on motorcycle accidents at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking and the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Naturalists from Puget Sound Express have seen the year-old humpback known as Uli a lot this summer. But last week, Uli and a colleague put on a fascinating display of pectoral slapping and breaching. Researchers generally hypothesize that slapping their large fins is a way of communicating. But in this encounter, the two whales appeared to be using this behavior to play with each other. This display went on for nearly 10 minutes before the two whales began breaching and leapfrogging each other. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Biggs orcas, humpback whales, and minke whales are currently being seen in the Salish Sea. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll